21-30. 7-14 in the second half, having lost their 2 last games. Aberett's next pitch in the way, taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Apologize for the late start. A little bit of internet difficulties here. We hope to get this ball game in its complete state tonight as the 1-1 is on its way. It's a fastball taken on the inside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cooper hitting .374 this year, 2 homers, 25 RBIs, 1 for 2 yesterday with a couple RBIs. Tosses the 1-0. Is a strike, top of the zone, outside corner. Count even out 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time the Saber Dogs were here, it was a pitching duel. It was Kyle Bratson on the other end for Souris Valley, who tossed together what you could argue was his best outing of the year. 6 very quality innings, where he'd been using really just about his fastball. It seemed to be 90% of the time. So the 1-1 is swung on the line softly to left. Lingley ranging in. He's going to make the catch head high, trailing towards the infield, as that will retire the side. So quick work for Gene Aberett here in the top of the first inning. Evades the leadoff single and strands Cooper in scoring position. That sends us to the bottom of the first, cruising through this one so far. Scoreless through this one. Whiskey Jacks coming up for the first time tonight when we return. Welcome back to Kraft Field here live from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Game 1 of 4 here between the Saber Dogs and the Whiskey Jacks. Let's take a look at that starting lineup tonight for Wheat City, announced by head coach Robbie Lawlin. Leading off, the DH will be Caleb McDowell, followed by Nolan Lingley in left field. Jake Jelly, the all-star first baseman, will bat third. Jackson Sorensen will clean up at third base. Right behind him, Nolan Drew will bat fifth in right field. Dean Bittner, your shortstop, will hit sixth. Keenan O'Brien, the catcher, will hit seventh. Trey Guajardo will man center field, batting eighth. And Cameron Daigle will round out the 9 at second base. On the mound for the Saber Dogs tonight is going to be right-hander Birdie, and who's going to be making his Souris Valley debut. Again, the Saber Dogs losing a lot of pitchers over the last couple of weeks, so a lot of new faces here on this roster looking to play a pivotal role here for the Saber Dogs as we get down the stretch run and into August, where they'll be hosting the first round of the postseason with home field advantage. So Connor Bernian, the product of Saddleback College, will dig his right foot into the middle of the rubber and come set for the first time in a Souris Valley uniform. Here's Caleb McDowell, the DH to the plate, righty on right. Bernian from the stretch, kicks and tosses his first pitch, is down low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Very quick first inning. Aberett allowed a leadoff single to Justin Cooper. He would advance to second base after the ground out off the bat of Gunnar McGran. Just about what seemed about 30 seconds later, here we are in the bottom of the first as Bernian kicks and tosses. The next pitch is swung on a line into the alley in right center field. Alan Greer will have to play this on a hop, so that's a leadoff single for Caleb McDowell. His second hit in as many games, that puts him at first base to open up this bottom of the first inning. So the Whiskey Jacks starting things just as the Saber Dogs did, looking for a better result right here. That brings up Nolan Lingley, the left fielder, to the plate, hitting .284, no homers, 15 RBIs. 2 for 4 to make that 2 for 5 with 4 runs batted in his last outing. As he digs in from the right side here, middle infield and double play depth. That's the shortstop and Cooper and the second baseman McGran. Birdie in from the stretch, first base side, pauses just a bit above the belt. From the stretch, he tosses his first pitch. He's in the dirt, smothered by the catcher Justice for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Let's take a look at your starting defense tonight for the Saber Dogs that will man behind Birdie. Left to right in the outfield will be Jordan Williams, Reese Anderson, and Alan Greer. Steven Moretto at the hot corner, Justin Cooper and Gunnar McGrath up the middle, Ethan Moore at first base, and Taylor Justice will be your catcher. 1-0 on the way from Bernie. It is a fastball taken down on the way ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So as we alluded to back in the top of the first inning, starting pitching has been a plus for the Sabre Dogs over the last 3 nights. You start with Dominic Parkhurst on Friday, 7 2/3, got the no decision, allowing just 2 runs, and none of them earned. 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. Sabre Dogs unfortunately did lose that game after a walk-off win for the Sunfish in the bottom of the 9th inning. As Bernian will peer in for the sign. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. McDowell takes his lead from first. Bernian settles at the first base side. Kicks and tosses his 2-0 as a fastball taken down the way ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. On Saturday it was Kanan Morrow, who was the best we've seen him this year. Got the win, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. A season high in innings pitched. Obviously, all of them shutout innings in terms of earned runs. And then Jaden Beck on Sunday making his first start of the year, going 6 innings, picking up the win. 3-0 from Bernian on the way is a fastball taken outside for ball 4. So back-to-back base runners reached. They'll be first and second. Nobody out here for the Whiskey Jacks as they are threatening here against Bernian in this bottom of the first inning. So Jaden Beck tossing 6 innings yesterday. There's a lot of versatility. He obviously made the All-Star game, was a part of the festivities last week, mostly because of his contributions as a reliever. But as we mentioned, the Sabre Dogs a little bit thinner on the pitching side of things. If they could use Jaden Beck as a starter for the last 2-3 weeks of this campaign, that would be a huge piece for Alex Miklos moving forward. And again, very good stuff for him yesterday over in Sioux Falls. Here's Jake Jelly, 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. As Bernian comes set from the third base side. Kicks and tosses. The first pitch on the way is a fastball taken up and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jelly hitting .353, 6 homers, 33 RBIs. Just the man that Lawlin wants up in this spot right here. First and second, nobody out. 1 ball, no strikes, just getting underway. Scoreless bottom of the first inning. Bernie and glove tucked into his chest, ball dangling in his right hand, comes set from the first base side. Jelly an open stance from the right side as well. As Bernie kicks and fires, the 1-0 is a breaking ball that slips out, misses well upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now. So that's 6 consecutive balls here from Birdie, and struggling with his command here. And again, making his season debut here for the Sabre Dogs. Got to imagine it's been a few weeks since he's pitched in a live game here, just trying to find that feel again here. As he finds himself in a tough spot early on. He settles at the chest, first base side of the hill. Hitters count for Jelly. The 2-0 on the way. Swing and a high fly ball down the right field side and foul to play. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck, the third baseman, Jackson Sorensen, who's cleaning up tonight. Then Nolan Drill, the right fielder. Infielders still pinched up the middle in double play depth. Your outfielders left to right. Williams, Anderson, and Greer, all with plus arms. The outfield grass will slow down the ball a little bit, so if Jelly can reach the outfield grass, would give McDowell a potential chance to score here. As Bernian comes set, first base side of the hill again. Wind continues to blow out towards left center. As the 2-1 pitch is on its way. Fastball bites the outside corner. Strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. These two teams saw each other for what you can consider a 3-game set last time out. It was 1 game here in Grand Forks on that Friday, the 9th, and then 2 on that Saturday and Sunday at Corbett Field. Sabre Dogs took 2 of those 3 games. Bernian comes set, first base side, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 2-2, strike, 3 called, got him on the outside corner, 1 away. So 1 down now, apologies for that. First and second, 1 away, scoreless bottom of the first inning. Here's Jackson Sorensen. Bernian looking to get out of this jam right here. Double play ball would do the job. Sorensen 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI, hitting .278, 4 homers, 25 RBIs. He's set first base side. His first pitch, fastball, misses inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So the inning started with a single to McDowell, then a walk to Langley. Jelly would strike out looking at a good fastball on the outside corner. Outfielders straight up, infield. Middle infielders ranging up the middle. Moretto a couple steps off the third base bag. Birdian comes set. Glove as he kicks and tosses. Next pitch is a fastball up and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So hitters count here for Sorensen. Birdian once again falling behind here. 6 consecutive balls combined to Lingley and Jelly. He was able to battle back in that count right here, looking to do some more of the same. Sorensen, a tall left-hander with a lot of pop. Saber Dogs had Cooper in scoring position at the top of the first. Whiskey Jacks threatening here, not looking to take advantage of this spot right now. The 2-0 fastball misses up and away, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Whiskey Jacks coming off of a 5-game stretch against the Badlands Big Sticks. They dropped 4 of those 5, including their last 2. They won the middle game back a couple nights ago. Birdian from the stretch, first base side. His 3-0 fastball, strike, top of the zone, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 down. First and second, still scoreless. Birdian from the first base side of the hill. Kicks and tosses. Pitch on the way. Swing and a pop straight back. Strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes here with 1 down. So Birdian doing a good job sticking in right here after falling behind. We mentioned he fell behind in the previous batter. Was able to climb back in. Looking to finish things off here in this bottom of the first inning. McDowell takes his lead from second after reaching on the single. Lingley takes his lead from first after the walk. Birdian from the stretch. Kicks and tosses. The payoff pitch on the way is taken down low, 4-4. Despite the fastball in the dirt that just is blocked. Second free pass allowed in the inning for Birdian, and that will load the bases up here with 1 down. So here's Nolan Drill, a good spot here for the Whiskey Jacks as they find themselves in the driver's seat. Bases loaded, 1 down. There is a forced all bags. Double play will absolutely be in order here. Drill hitting .220, no homers, 10 RBIs, 7 stolen bases with 1 for 5 in his last start. Third baseman Moreto straight up at third. First baseman Moore playing behind the runner in Sorensen. Birdian from the stretch, first base side. Kicks and tosses. His first pitch on the way is swung on and missed for strike 1. Big rip from Drill. No balls, 1 strike. Saber Dogs going with the red tops, gray bottoms, red caps tonight. The Saber Dogs make that the Whiskey Jacks navy tops, white bottoms, navy blue caps. Birdian peers in. Sets at the chest again. Justice setting up, down and away. He kicks and tosses the 0-1. Swing and a foul straight back off the backstop for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. So Birdian now finds himself in the driver's seat. Does not have to challenge Drill with a pitch over the middle of the plate right now. Do it for the Saber Dogs at the top of the second inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Justice, Miller, and Williams. Birdian. Right hand dangling parallel to his right hip. Glove tucked into his chest. He now brings the 2 together. Ahead 0-2. Justice setting up upstairs. Birdian. Pauses and fires. The 0-2 is a fastball taken down away, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This will be game 1 of 4 here between these two teams. Saber Dogs will then head over to Spearfish for a 3-game set this weekend, then head back home to Corbett Field and start the final homestand of the regular season against Sioux Falls. That'll be a big series. Sioux Falls, a very hot team as of late in the Clark division. As Birdian kicks and tosses, the 1-2 is a breaking ball that misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here with 1 down. And the Sunfish have had the Saber Dogs number this year. If you remember back about a month and a half ago when Souris Valley faced Sioux Falls for the first time out over there in South Dakota, Sioux Falls took 2 out of 3. And, of course, them splitting the series last weekend 2 apiece. As the next pitch is slung and lined over the leaping head of the second baseman McGran in a right center field 4-base hit. McDowell will score. Lingley scampers in the third base. Station to station go the base runners. The bases are still loaded. 1 run is in. As the Whiskey Jacks take their first lead of the night, it's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And a good piece of hitting from Nolan Drill right there. A pitch on the outside corner, took it exactly where it was pitched. Thought there was a chance that Gunnar McGran was able to make a leaping grab right there. Just about an inch or 2 over his outstretched arm in a right center for a hit. And because he made such an effort, every base runner had to hold to make sure it got past him, which it did. Bases still remain loaded because of that. Here's Dean Bittner. the right-handed hitting shortstop. Righty on right again, of course. Birdie in from the stretch. Kicks, tosses his first pitch. Is a fastball upstairs, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Bittner hitting .239, 15 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. Your base runners now, Drill at first, Sorensen at second, Lingley at third base. 1 run in on the RBI single from Drill. Here's Birdie Inn's 1-0. Fastball up and in, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now. So here comes Alex Miklos to the mound, the head coach for the Saber Dogs. He's going to go talk to Birdie Inn. And again, obviously, we talked about the command struggles. We're already seeing a right-hander starting to warm up in the Saber Dogs bullpen. So we'll see how long the leash is for Birdie Inn. And again, you got to imagine, obviously, this is his debut this season. Hasn't pitched in quite a while, at least in a live game atmosphere. So the leash, either way, was probably going to be a little bit shorter for him here tonight, as we've seen with most guys that have come to this roster, even Kyle Bratzett when he came over, or Trevor Ernst, Eric Wallington. We've seen them get extended as the season has gone on, because you don't want to throw a guy out there for 70, 80 pitches in their first outing in what's been over a month here. So Birdie Inn, either way, likely wasn't going to get too deep into this ball game, but got to imagine he'd like to get through this first inning. Miklos talks to his right-hander, pats him on the chest, and walks back to the third base dugout. Again, 2 balls, no strikes to count, 1 down, bases loaded, 1-0 Whiskey Jacks here. So Bittner finds himself in a good spot, a good chance to drive in at least 1 run, would be his 16th RBI, a couple other ducks on the pond as well as the bases are packed. Birdie Inn from the stretch. Takes a deep breath, pauses, tosses his 2-0. Fastball sizzles across the middle of the plate for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Birdie Inn sails back from the first base side of the hill. Kicks and tosses his 2-1 on the way. He's a fastball that runs inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to count now. So another hitter's count, and that's been the story of this first inning. The Whiskey Jacks being very patient with Birdie Inn in this inning. He's already walked a couple of batters, has given up 2 base hits. The 1 out recorded was on the strikeout looking of Jake Jelly. Birdie Inn has to find the zone here, nowhere to put him. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball taken outside, 4 ball 4. Third walk of the inning allowed by Birdie Inn. And they'll force in a run. That's Lingley from third base, as that doubles the Wheat City lead. It's now 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. RBI number 16 on the season for Bittner, as that'll bring up Keenan O'Brien, the catcher, to the plate. O'Brien hitting .243, a homer, 13 RBIs, 3 stolen bases on the year here. Gotta imagine he'll be very patient here with Birdie Inn on the mound as well. So 2-0 Whiskey Jacks your score now. Bases still loaded, 1 down. Birdie Inn from the stretch, pauses at the chest, kicks and tosses. His first pitch is a fastball taken up and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Hard to tell from this angle who that right-hander is warming up. But someone already getting hot down there in the Saber Dogs bullpen. Meanwhile, for Aberrett, a very, very quick first inning. Gotta imagine he'll be going deep into this ball game tonight. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow right center field. Greer ranging to his right. He will make the catch. Route number 2. Tagging from third is Sorensen. Here's Greer's throw to the plate. It will not be in time, as it's cut off by the first baseman, Ethan Moore. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Keenan O'Brien. That's the 14th RBI of the season for the Whiskey Jacks backstop, and gives the Wheat City a 3-0 lead as well. Holding at second base was Nolan Drill, Bittner at first. So first and second, 2 down now. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Trey Guajardo to the plate. Guajardo hitting .183, 4 RBIs, 4 stolen bases here. 2 down now. The lefty on right, one of the few lefties in this lineup tonight for the Whiskey Jacks. Here's the first pitch on the way from Birdie Inn. It's a fastball at the top of the zone. Runs across the outside corner for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Guajardo, the 8th man to the plate in this inning. The 9-hole spot, and Cameron Daigle looming on deck here. Birdie Inn from the stretch, first base side. Pauses just below the chest. Takes a look at second, now peers back in. Welcome back to Kraft Field, top half of the second inning. 3-0 Whiskey Jacks, your score here. After 3 runs in that bottom of the first inning, Gene Aberrett out for inning number 2 of work. We'll get 5, 6, and 7 in the Saber Dogs lineup. Here's Taylor Justice. The first pitch is taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Justice back behind the dish tonight. Some on the mound. Back in the series against Sioux Falls for the second time this year. Also at first base as well. Inning 278, 11 RBIs. Next pitch on the way from Aberrett is taken upstairs and out of the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So Saber Dogs looking to get on the scoreboard here for the first time tonight after those 3 runs came around to score in that first inning. A right-hander continuing to warm up in the Saber Dogs bullpen. As Aberrett comes set, kicks and tosses the 2-0. Fastball misses down, low ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Aberrett, after he gave up that leadoff single to Justin Cooper, set down the rest of the Saber Dogs lineup in order. That was the 2, 3, 4 spots. LeGrand, Greer, and Moretta, who grounded out, struck out, and lined out, respectively. Next pitch on the way from Aberrett is a heater taken on the inside corner for strike 1. 3-1. Justice and Hannigan splitting time behind the dish this year. Trevor Gustafsson is well coming to the ball club at the beginning of this road trip, so those 3 will split time behind the plate. Justice getting a lot more opportunities at first as well after Bo Brewer has left the roster. As the next pitch is taken at the knees, middle of the plate, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Justice looking to reach base right here. Already a quality at-bat. This will be pitch number 6. Aberrett kicks and tosses. The payoff delivery on the way is taken inside and actually hits Justice on the front shoulder. So that'll be the second base runner of the night for Souris Valley. Justice works a 6-pitch at-bat, reaches for the cherry on top as that'll send up Drew Miller to the plate. So lefty on left here, Miller hitting .261, 5 homers, 28 RBIs in the DH spot tonight. Third baseman in Sorensen playing off the bag at third, even with the bag. Middle infielders in double play depth here. Justice being held on by the first baseman, Jelly. Aberrett kicks and tosses. The first pitch is a fastball that's taken on the inside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Jordan Williams on deck, then Ethan Moore. A very deep Saber Dogs lineup with a lot of pop here. Never out of ball game. They are now second in the league in runs scored at 468, just 1 run behind the Sasquatch over in Spearfish. It's the 0-1 pitch is swung and grounded over into the first base dugout. Look out. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Looks like everyone is okay, but my goodness, that could have been trouble right there. Had it not glanced off the facing of the wall right next to that dugout. Glad everyone's okay. No balls, 2 strikes here with nobody down. So that series over in Spearfish will be a fun one. Got to imagine there'll be a lot of fireworks. The 2 highest scoring teams in the league facing off this weekend. Miller digs back in. The 0-2 from Aberrett on the way. Swinging a soft ground ball left side wide of third. The shortstop and Bittner ranges to his left. Picks it up, backhanded it, but will have to put it in his pocket. So Miller will reach first base. Back-to-back base runners reach. In fact, it's an infield single for the Saber Dogs DH. Second knock of the night collectively for Souris Valley, as that sets up a first and second spot here with nobody out in the top of the second inning. Here comes Jordan Williams to the plate. Williams hitting .293, 3 homers, 20 RBIs. 1 for 4 the other night with a run scored, 5 stolen bases. One of the 8 All-Stars for Souris Valley this year. Participated in the Home Run Derby as well. Made it to the final round. As Aberrett peers in for the sign here. Tying run all of a sudden now at the plate. Third baseman in Sorensen even with the bag at third base. Aberrett's first pitch on the way is a fastball taken outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Williams has struggled a bit since he's come back from the ribs injury, but again, was such a dominant bat in the middle of the Saber Dogs lineup for the first month or so of the season. Saber Dogs looking for him to get hot here down the stretch run. Aberrett's 1-0 on the way is taken down low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck, Ethan Moore, the 9-hole spot in Reese Anderson. Justice takes his lead from second base. Drew Miller from first. As Aberrett, glove tucked into his chest, now brings it down to his belt and settles on the first base side of the hill. It's 2-0. Swing and a high fly ball deep down the left field line. Lingley ranging to his right in the foul ground. Reaches out and slides. He can't make the catch as it lands foul for a long strike 1. 330 feet down that left field line. Again, Williams just catching this one a bit out in front. Good effort from Lingley in left field. Had to cover a lot of ground right there. About 80 to 85 feet. Reached out the last second, slid to his knees. Could not make the catch as it glanced off the edge of his glove in foul ground. So 2-1 the count here. Nobody out. 3-0 Whiskey Jacks first and second here in the top of the second. Justice takes his lead. Miller as well at second and first, respectively. Maberette comes set from the first base side of the hill. From the slide step delivers the 2-1. Swing the bounding ball to third. Past the diving Sorensen into left field for a base hit. Justice on his horse rounding third. He will score as the throw is cut off by the third baseman Sorensen. As the Saber Dogs get on the board for the first time tonight, it's 3-1. An RBI single courtesy of Jordan Williams, his 21st run batted in of the year. So the Saber Dogs have strung around 3 consecutive base runners here in this top of the second inning, and they are looking for more here. A powerful, powerful bat. And Ethan Moore coming to the dish. And third baseman Sorensen was about even with the bag over there, so his range was caught down. This was a ground ball wide of third. Sorensen dove to his left on his forehand side, just a bit out of his reach. And that grass slowed it down out as it trickled out to the left fielder Langley, allowing Justice to score with ease. First pitch from Maberette on the way to Ethan Moore is a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Moore, 6 homers, 35 RBIs, leads the team in long balls. Hitting 200 on the dot with 3 stolen bases. Maberette from the first base side tosses the 1-0. It's taken up and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Moore's last homer came back a couple Sundays ago, back over against Western Nebraska on the final leg of that road trip before the All-Star break. It was a grand slam at the top of the 9th inning to blow things open. And he mashed off the scoreboard and straightaway left. The 2-0 from Maberette is a fastball taken on the outside corner as it slices the edge for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Moore, a product of Murray State, digs back in here. Miller takes his lead from second, Williams from first. Maberette from the stretch. His 2-1 is swung and grounded hard down the third base line, but foul. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moore once again going with the high socks almost above his knees. Hunter Pence style. Gotta love it as he digs back to the box, taps the plate, points his bat in the direction of Maberette, swings it forward one more time before he lifts it above his right shoulder. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, 1 run already in on the Williams RBI single. Maberette tosses the 2-2, swing at a high fly ball, shallow center. Guajardo arranging in. He'll camp underneath this one to make the catch for out number 1. Ethan Moore just missed that one, skying it over the light poles. Falling into the glove of the center fielder, Guajardo, 1 down. So Williams holds at first base, Miller at second. Here comes the 9-hole hitter to the plate, and Reese Anderson. Anderson was 0 for 4 in his last start in center field tonight, once again hitting .286, 6 RBIs. Good chance for him to drive in a run here and set the table for the top of the order, and Justin Cooper, that looms on deck. And Anderson just trying to keep this inning alive and pass the baton to the big bats looming. First pitch, he shows bunt, bunts it back towards the mound. The catcher, and O'Brien will pick it up with his bare hand. Slings it over to first base. It hits off Anderson and rolls into right field. Miller will score. Heading for third is Williams. He'll stop there. Into second, standing up goes Reese Anderson. Another run is in as the deficit is now 1. It's 3-2 Wheat City here in the top of the second inning. We'll see what they rule this one. Again, the throw from the catcher, and O'Brien, came on the run. Almost had to throw across his body, and it looks like it faded into the runner in Anderson. And once it hit off him, rolled softly into right field. Wouldn't be surprised if this could be a single and then an E2 on O'Brien that allowed the extra run to score as it faded in to Anderson, who runs well as well, which forced O'Brien to rush. But either way, it'll be a 3-2 ball game. So here's Justin Cooper, second and third, 1 down. So it looks like it will be a single for Anderson, so you can credit him with an RBI. Advancing to third is Williams, and second is Anderson on the error. So tying run 90 feet away at third. Go-ahead run in scoring position at second base. Maberette's 1-0, swinging a line drive, softly hit over the leaping head of the third baseman Sorensen in left field. Williams will score. Right on his tail is Anderson. He will score in the second with a 2-run go-ahead RBI double is Justin Cooper. And what a response by Souris Valley. They take a 4-3 lead here in the top of the second inning. Just what the doctor ordered after allowing 3 runs to score in the first inning. Justin Cooper slicing a soft line drive over the outstretched glove of Sorensen, a tall third baseman, as it rolled down the left field line. So a double for Cooper, 2 RBIs. He now is 27 on the year. So the Saber Dogs are still threatening now. Cooper takes his lead from second base here with 1 down. Here's Gunnar McGrann. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. First pitch is swung and fouled off his foot for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Third baseman Sorensen was playing even with the bag at third, a little bit in front, in fact, before he takes a couple steps back now. Big hole on the left side of the infield between Sorensen, the third baseman, and the shortstop Bittner, who's ranging up the middle. as McGrann digs back into the box. McGrann has been dominant for Souris Valley ever since he arrived about a month ago, hitting .347 now, 5 RBIs. Cooper ready to run, has good speed, takes his lead from second base, has 19 still in the bags on the year. A ball that reaches the outfield likely scores him. And again on that double from the Saber Dogs shortstop. Again showing how the outfield grass slowed that ball down, allowing a couple runs to score. And Cooper advanced to second, which was really the big part of it. So the next pitch is at the top of the zone, 4 strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. McGrann, the 7th batter to the plate in this inning. Alan Greer, the right fielder, looming on deck. Cooper takes a walking lead from second base. Sabre from the stretch, pauses at the belt. Fires the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 3. Good sweeping breaking ball out of the left hand of Aberrett. Caught McGrann out in front as he went after it. That'll be out number 2. So strikeout number 2 on the night for Aberrett. First swinging as that sends up Alan Greer to the plate. So your line score now, 4 runs, 5 hits, an error for Souris Valley. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Wheat City. Cooper takes a walking lead from second. Aberrett peers in for the sign. Rare 40 RBIs in the year, top portion of the team in that category. The first pitch is taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And you got to imagine he would love to exchange spots with his good friend Justin Cooper at second base. Steven Moretto looms on deck here as Aberrett passes just above the belt and tosses the 1-0. Fastball taken outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now. So the Whiskey Jacks sent 8 men to the plate back in that bottom of the first inning. Brought around 3. Saber Dogs matched that and add on some as well, bringing 8 men to the plate and counting here in the top of the second and 4 runs to score. 2-0 taken at the top of the zone, strike 1. 2-1. Greer struck out looking his last time up. That was the first punch out for Aberrett. It was a similar pitch to the last one called up and out, not up and out, but up at the top of the zone. There was no argument from Alan Greer. 2-1 the count now. Cooper will be going on contact with 2 down as Aberrett pauses first base side. Tosses the 2-1. Taken down low in the dirt, smothered by the catcher O'Brien. Ball 3. 3-1 the count now. So hitter's count here for Greer. As we mentioned, a threatening bat in Steve Moretto looming on deck. And if you put Greer on, per se, you'd put 2 of the fastest runners on this ball club on the base paths, and both of which will be going on contact. Aberrett settles and delivers. The 3-1 swing and a miss. Big rip from Greer. Count now moves full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here with 2 down. So Greer looking to put the ball in play here for the first time tonight. Takes a step out, now steps back in, adjusts the bill, now the top of his helmet. Puts 2 hands on his blonde bat and waves it above his right shoulder. Cooper shuffles towards third. The 3-2 is taken up and away for ball 4. So a walk to Alan Greer. It'll be first and second with 2 down, as that'll send up the 9th man to the plate now in Steve Moretto. And this is a completely different Gene Aberrett than what we saw in the first inning, where he was working at a very fast pace, was able to set down the Saber Dogs quite quickly. But here in the second now, has walked a handful of batters, has given up 4 hits in total, and has allowed 4 runs, and potentially more here with Cooper now at second and Greer at first. Here's Aberrett's first pitch. Swing and a miss. Moretto a bit out in front for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Moretto lined out to left field with Cooper in scoring position at second base his last time up. It's another opportunity to drive in Cooper here. 26 RBIs in the year for Moretto, 5 home runs. And what's been a smaller sample size, really impressive stuff from him thus far, as the 0-1 is swung and popped up first base side, foul territory. Shelley ranging to his left. He'll settle underneath it, readjust back a couple steps to his right to make the headlong grab to retire the side. But not before the Saber Dogs send 9 men to the plate and bring around 4 runs to score on 4 hits and 1 error. 2 runners left on. We're heading to the bottom of the second. Saber Dogs lead for the first time tonight, 4-3. Your score as you're listening to Expedition League Baseball live on the Souris Valley Saber Dogs Radio Network. Welcome back to Kraft Field, bottom half of the second inning. 4-3 Saber Dogs. Your score. New pitcher on the mound here for Souris Valley is going to be the right-hander Craig Schmick, also making his Saber Dogs debut here tonight. So it started off with the right-hander in Connor Berdian, who went 1 inning, did allow 3 runs. Now he's going to toss it off to Schmick here, who's going to look to hold this Saber Dogs lead, who got up early when Berdian got into a little bit of trouble right here. So the tall right-hander steps onto the hill, first base side. Turns, kicks, and fires. First pitch on the way to Cameron Daigle is taken for a strike. 0-1. Daigle showed bunt, pulled back. Third baseman Moreno now playing back behind the third base bag here. As here's the wind. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball, taken down, away ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Schmick just arriving today. This, again, as we said, is his Saber Dogs debut. In fact, got his jersey today, wearing number 26, formerly worn by Will Causel. It's the 2-1. It's a fastball taken upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. A lot of new players. In fact, we'll go through all of them in just a moment. It's the 2-1 is on its way. Fastball runs inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. We saw, of course, Connor Berdian start this game. Craig Schmick on the mound here tonight. Chase Minor and Dylan Swanson have yet to appear, but both of them on the roster here this evening. As the 3-1 is swung on and flied into left center field. Williams ranging in as he'll make the catch in the left center field alley for out number 1. So a good start here. 1 up, 1 down. As Daigle is retired, that'll bring up the top of the order for the second time of the night. And Caleb McDowell to the plate. McDowell 1 for 1, singled back in that first inning. Would come around to score on the RBI single from Nolan Drill. Again, it felt like Whiskey Jacks had the bases loaded for the entire frame as he swings at the first pitch, chops it high in the turf, picked up by a Cooper on a long hop who steps across and throws to first base. That is in time to retire McDowell for out number 2. So a quick start here for Schmick in this inning, as that'll bring up Nolan Langley to the plate. McDowell being a lot more aggressive on that one right there. Again, looked like the approach against Berdian was to be very patient, and Berdian did walk 3 batters, 1 with the bases loaded, in fact, and the Whiskey Jacks were able to string together a lot of traffic on the base paths here. A much cleaner frame here for Schmick as he looks to hold on to this 4-3 lead. He winds and tosses the first pitch. It's a fastball taken on the inside corner, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Schmick looks like he has a very hard, firm fastball. Let an arm side run on it as it glides across towards right-handed hitters. As the 0-1 is swung on and grounded to short. Picked up on a couple hops by Cooper, who ranges to his left. Slings it across the first base. That is in plenty of time to retire Langley and retire the side as well. Very nice debut for Schmick as he sets down the Whiskey Jacks 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second. We're heading to the top of the third. Your score, the Saber Dogs 4, the Whiskey Jacks 3. Welcome back to Kraft Field here as we enter the top half of the third inning. 4-3, Souris Valley your score. Taylor Justice, who led off the top of the second, lead it off here in the top of the third as well. Worked a 6-pitch AB, was hit by a pitch back in the front shoulder, would come around to score on the RBI single from Williams. It's the first of 4 runs for Souris Valley in that frame as the first pitch on the way to Justice is a breaking ball taken down and in, appeal over to the first base umpire. And Lingman says he did not go around, so that'll be ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Justice has yet to record an official at-bat here tonight as he digs back into the right-hander's batter's box. Here's Aberette's 1-0, swinging a chopper straight back, strike one. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So your line scores, we enter this top of the third frame. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Souris Valley. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Wheat City. And for the Saber Dogs, obviously they're looking to win as many games as they can, but there's not as much pressure. As we mentioned, they've solidified their playoff spot. But home field advantage for a potential championship round is still on the line as there's a swing and a pop, a bright side slicing out of play, strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, the big team they're competing with for that is the Western Nebraska Pioneers, who, of course, won the Clark division in the first half. And again, Saber Dogs, their playoff hopes will be satisfied no matter what as Justice swings and pops this up in the shallow left center field. This one will plunk in for a base. It is the center fielder Guajardo will cut it off. Heading to second and sliding in safely goes Justice with a leadoff double. That'll open things up here in this third inning. So Justice starts things off with an extra base hit. A line shot in the left center field. Guajardo, the center fielder, ranged to his right, could not get it. Was able to cut it off before it got to the wall, but Justice, who was running hard out of the box, was able to slide in with ease. So some much-needed insurance in scoring position at second base. That'll send up Drew Miller to the plate. Miller, 1 for 1, picked up an infield single back in the second frame. Here's the first pitch on the way from Aberette. It's a fastball that runs inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Got to imagine it's difficult for Miller to pick up the ball out of the left hand of Aberette, who looks to hide it really well, glides across. Almost very reminiscent of a Jake Diekman or a Madison Bumgarner. As the next pitch is a breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 1. 1-1, where it almost looks like he closes himself off as he comes set and then whips that arm back around his back and then slings it across his body, almost like it's as if he's throwing behind a left-handed hitter when he releases. As he fires the 1-1, it misses upstairs, ball 2, and 2 balls, 1 strike. So for a lefty, you're picking it up even later than usual. For Miller, it's just got to be a little bit more uncomfortable at the dish. Justice takes his lead from second base. Sabre comes set from the first base side, pauses at the belt. Here's his 2-1 on the way. Fastball runs outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. So for the Saber Dogs, they've been able to get Sabre a lot more than they did back in their July 9th outing against him, where he allowed just 4 runs through 6 2/3. He's already allowed 4 runs through 2 innings. And a chance for the Saber Dogs to add on more here. Hitters count to Miller, 3-1. Aberette's pitch in the way is swung on and missed. Big rip for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Miller wearing the scrunchy pants here tonight. First time I believe we've seen him wear them this year. The old-fashioned style back late 90s, early 2000s. Where you can just see a little bit of the sock at the ankle height as the next pitch is swung and lined out to right field. Drill on his horse, ranging to his left, will make the catch. Justice will hold at second base. Miller hit that one on the button, but Drill was able to run it down the right field line for out number 1. So Justice holds at second. He's in scoring position still as that brings up Jordan Williams to the plate. Williams, 1 for 1 tonight, brought in a run to score back in that second inning. The first run of the night for Souris Valley, in fact. Snuck a ground ball into left field for a base hit as he steps into the right-hander's batter's box. Wind starting to blow out hard now towards right center. As Aberette tilts in for the sign, gets it from his catcher O'Brien, going through multiple signals with Justice at second base. Here's Aberette's first pitch. Swing and a miss. Big rip from Williams for strike 1. 0-1. Ethan Moore, the first baseman on deck, then Reese Anderson here as Williams digs back into the box. Aberette, a long look into his backstop. Finds the sign he wants. Takes a look at Justice. Peers back in. The 0-1 is swung and popped up first base side. Jelly waltzing towards his left to watch it slice out a play for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to count. As we mentioned earlier, however, at the beginning of the inning, before the Justice double, Souris Valley's results, technically speaking, here in the second half don't matter as much. Only effect they'll have is for home field advantage in a potential championship round. They'll host the first round of the divisional series. What very likely could be either the Badlands Big Sticks, the Mining City Tommyknockers, whoever finishes in first here in the second half or behind Souris Valley. So the next pitch is taken inside for a ball here. Still 2 strikes on Williams. Aberette, long look in. Pace has slowed down a lot the last couple innings as he settles and comes set. Justice takes his lead. The 2-strike pitch in the way, swinging a high fly ball out to deep center field. Guajardo ranging back in front of the track will reach up and make the catch. Justice fakes the tag towards third. He'll hold there. So a long fly out to deep left center field off the bat of Williams, which is out number 2. He gave that a ride, 410 feet to straightaway center field. Was out towards left center. Guajardo was sprinting towards his right. Was able to run it down fairly easily. Justice had started to get a little bit of an extra secondary lead as he continued to see this ball trail towards that left center field wall. Remember, the wind is blowing out in that direction. Once Guajardo made the catch, he sprinted back towards second, tagged up, took about 3 or 4 steps towards third, then held. Here's Ethan Moore. The first pitch is grounded down the third baseline and foul. Strike 1. 0-1. So taking a look at those standings in the Lewis Division, Saber Dogs in the second half, first place at 13-8. The Big Sticks second at 12-9, tied with the Tommyknockers, who are also 12-9. Then the Spuds are at 10-11. The Whiskey Jacks, who we see tonight, are 7-14, and the Horsets are 6-14. A tight battle who will get to face Souris Valley in that divisional round. Aberrett from the stretch, first base side, fires the 0-1. It's a fastball taken outside, ball 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here with 2 down. Moore 0 for 1 flew out to the center fielder, Guajardo, back in that second inning. Saber Dogs trying to avoid wasting the leadoff double from Taylor Justice. Count even at 1 here. Aberrett from the stretch. Stares towards his feet. Long hold and now delivers the 1-1. Misses upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here. 4-3. Saber Dogs, your score, top of the third. A little bit more of a slower pace to this ball game. A lot of action. 7 runs combined through the first 2 frames. 3 in the first for the Whiskey Jacks, 4 in the second for Souris Valley. Aberrett from the stretch, pauses, belts high. Fires the 2-1 on the way. Swing and a high pop behind the plate. Out of play. Strike 2. Count evens up at 2-2. Reese Anderson, the center fielder, on deck here. Deuce is running wild. 2-2, 2 outs. Justice at second base after his leadoff double. Second at-bat of the night here for Ethan Moore as well as he digs back into the box. Aberrett looking for what would be his second scoreless inning of the night. He's a strike away. Comes set from the first base side. His 2-2 on the way is swung and skied in the air, right center field. Guajardo takes a couple steps to his left and in. He'll sit underneath to make the grab, as that will retire the side. So a good rebound for Aberrett as he puts a 0 on the board here in the top of the third. That sends us to the bottom of the third. 4-3 Saber Dogs, your score, as you're listening to Expedition League Baseball live on the Souris Valley Saber Dogs Radio Network. Welcome back to Kraft Field here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Just another gorgeous night for baseball as the sun continues to set over the first base grandstands. Bottom of the third inning, 4-3 Souris Valley, your score. Craig Schmick out for his second inning of work. Was able to set down the Whiskey Jacks 1-2-3 in the second. Looking for some more of that here in the third. He's going to get the meat of this Whiskey Jacks lineup, 3, 4, and 5. Jake Jelly, Jackson Sorensen, and Nolan Drill. He winds and fires. His first pitch is cut on a miss for strike 1. 0-1. Good fastball gliding across the knees right there of Jelly. As Schmick, now working at a very quick pace, is already set. Chest facing home plate, glove in front of his face as Jelly just digs back in. He turns, kicks and tosses. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit hard left side. That's through the 6 hole as it trickles into left field for a base knock. Jelly hits that one on the button. Third hit of the night for the Whiskey Jacks. That puts the tying run at first base here to open up this bottom of the third inning. Got a breaking ball over the middle of the plate right there out of the right hand of Schmick that hung about belt high. Was a little bit out in front, seared it through that 6 hole in the left field. No question that would get through. So here's Jackson Sorensen, the third baseman tonight. Walked back in the first inning, came around to score on the bases, loaded walk, make the RBI single from Nolan Drill. First pitch on the way from Schmick is a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Jelly takes his lead from first base. As we mentioned, the tying run has 12 stolen bases this year. Good speed for him. As Schmick from the stretch will toss over to first base, back in safely goes Jelly. So this will be the first time tonight that Schmick will deliver out of the stretch as he peers into his catcher and Justice for the sign. First time these two have worked together as well this season. So the 1-0 is fastball taken down and in ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. As we mentioned, Schmick, a Minot State University product, one of the many here on this Saber Dogs roster. Also have Dominic Parkhurst, Matt Jackson, Declan Buckle, just to name a handful. Jordan Williams as well. As there goes the runner, move over to first base. Moore's throw down to second is Cooper. Now in a rundown is going to be Jelly as he's caught between first and second. Moore will apply the tag on Jelly's backside for out number 1. So a quick move over to first base. Not too many times you see a right-hander pick over to first and the runner get caught in a rundown. I believe Jelly was just going on first movement, and the pitcher and Schmick went with a quick move over to first base and threw a strike to Moore, which had caught Jelly in that rundown, who had took about 3 or 4 steps towards second base, and they were able to eliminate him in between the base paths for 1 out. So that eliminates the single. The 2-0 is swung on and flied out to left field and deep. Ranging back is Williams, twisting and turning at the track. He reaches up, can't make the play, hops off the wall as he'll get it back into the infield quite quickly. So an opposite field double for Jackson Sorensen as he just missed leaving the yard by about 5 or 6 feet, as that puts a runner in scoring position here with 1 down. So a good bounce back after Jelly was picked off. And again, Williams had a tough time picking this one up. Remember, the wind is blowing out hard towards left center field. He started to range towards his right, then had to twist back towards his left. Reached up at the last second, could not make the play. Then it hopped off the wall. And Williams, the left fielder, jumped up in the air, barehanded it, which of course allowed him to get it back in just a little bit more quickly. But Sorensen was able to waltz into second base standing up. So Justice will have a meeting with Schmick now, likely going through their sign signal program with a runner at second base. Again, as we mentioned the first time these two have worked together ever, as Justice will pat the numbers on Schmick's jersey, head back to home plate here. So tying run at second base, 1 down. Here's Nolan Drill coming to the plate. He's 1 for 1. Picked up an RBI single to right field back in the first inning. Sorensen takes a shuffling lead from second base. He's ready to run, has decent speed. 2 stolen bags on the air, likely not a threat to run in this instance. As Schmick comes set, kicks and tosses. The first pitch is a fastball that misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Schmick is allowed 2 hits in this inning, has recorded 1 out on the pickoff of Jelly at first base. As he peers in for the sign again and comes set just across the letters on his jersey. As he kicks and tosses the 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken down low, blocked by the catcher Justice for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now. On deck, Dean Bittner, and then Keenan O'Brien here. Part of the lineup that really made it difficult for the start of the night for the Saber Dogs and Birdie in. As the 2-0 delivery is on its way, swinging a bounding ball to third. Moreno steps back to play on the long hop. Now steps across, throws to first base, pulls more off the bag. Can't apply the tag as the ball pops out of his glove. Safe at first is Drill. Standing up, going to third, is going to be Sorensen. So first and third, 1 down now here for the Whiskey Jacks. It looks like they're going to rule that an error on the Saber Dogs defense right there. Likely an E5 on the third base. Moretto as the throw faded arm side and pulled more off the bag, who then tried to apply the tag on Drill, which was in time. If he held onto it, Drill is likely out. But unfortunately, once he made contact with the base runner, the ball popped out of Moore's glove and trickled towards shallow right field. So first and third, 1 down. Here's Dean Bittner, the shortstop. Move over to first base. Getting back in safely goes Drill. So now an error on both ends. 1 for Souris Valley, 1 for Wheat City here. Tough break as that looked to be what would have been a ground ball out that would have held Sorensen at second base. Now Sorensen stands 90 feet away. As the first pitch is swung on and laced in the air in the left center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Jogging home to score is Sorensen. Stepping on home plate, representing the tying and fourth run of the night for the Whiskey Jacks, as we are now knotted at 4. An RBI single for Bittner, his 16th run batted in of the year. That also sends Drill to second base, representing the go-ahead run. So a tug-of-war affair thus far, excuse me. Here's Keenan O'Brien, the catcher, to the plate. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to right field. Back in the first inning, driving in his 13th run of the campaign. Here's the first pitch from Schmick. It's a fastball at the top of the zone. Strike one. 1 ball, no strikes. So for the Whiskey Jacks right here, a good opportunity to take that lead back after losing it in the top of the second inning. As Schmick will come set from the first base side of the hill. Fires the 0-1. It's taken down the way, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the lineup now up here for Weed City. O'Brien in the 7th spot. Guajardo and Daigle the 8th and 9th bats, respectively, on deck and in the hole. Schmick from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch is a good bender that drops over the middle of the zone. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So almost identical score lines thus far here through just about 2.5 innings. 4 runs, 6 hits, and error for Souris Valley. 4 runs, 5 hits, and error for the Whiskey Jacks. Schmick from the first base side. Pauses and fires. The 1-2. Fastball taken up and in. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For Schmick, it looks like a lot of ride on that fastball. It continues to carry through the zone. We mentioned the run arm side on it already. O'Brien stayed in with that one a lot until it bit back towards his front shoulder. High spin heater from Schmick tonight as the 2-2 is a breaking ball. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 1 in the career of Craig Schmick in a Saber Dogs uniform. That's a big one. Out number 2 holds the runners at first and second. Here in the bottom of the third inning, keeps this game tied at 4, at least for now. And that breaking ball, breaking 12-6, has been very sharp for Schmick tonight. Here's Trey Guajardo. 2 outs. Runners will be going on contact. Guajardo 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out looking, courtesy of Birdie and back to end the first inning. Schmick from the stretch. His first pitch is a breaking ball taken down low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. So he doubles up on it here. Guajardo represents batter number 6 in this inning for Weed City. 4-4 your score. 1 run in on the RBI single by Dean Bittner. Schmick from the stretch. Tosses the 1-0. Fastball taken at the top of the zone. Strike 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 up for Souris Valley. What will be the top of the 4th. They'll send up 9-1 and 2. Anderson, Cooper, and McGran as they look to take their lead back. Bittner takes his lead from first. Drill from second. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the delivery on the way. Fastball cruises across the inside corner. Knee height. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Schmick finds himself in a good spot right here as Guajardo digs back into the box. Taps the plate twice. Waving that blonde bat back and forth. Now jolting it above his left shoulder. First and second, 2 down. Here's Schmick's 1-2. Fastball taken well upstairs for ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind continues to gust out towards the straightaway center field, straightaway left center field direction. We've seen a lot of balls elevated tonight. Get a little bit of extra carry so far. As the 2-2 is on its way. Fastball taken inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, including the double to Sorensen, which was a big knock. Of course, he was the run that came around the score on the RBI single from Bittner. That made things difficult for Williams as he really struggled to read that ball as he trailed towards the left field wall. As the payoff pitch is on its way, runners go. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Good work from Schmick to work out of trouble. Strikes out back-to-back hitters to retire the side. Strands the go-ahead run in scoring position as that sends us to the top of the 4th. 1 run does come around to score for the Whiskey Jacks, and the RBI single from Bittner. We're now knotted at 4. 9-1 and 2 due up for Souris Valley when we come back. Top half of the fourth inning. 4-4 ball game live here from Kraft Field. 9-1 and 2 up due here for Souris Valley, as they look to get their lead back after the Whiskey Jacks brought around 1 run to score in that bottom of the third inning. So second third of this ball game begins now. Aberrett out for his fourth frame of work. Comes set from the first base side as we're about ready to resume play. Here's his first pitch. It's a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Sorensen, the third baseman, in front of the bag at third base, ready for a potential bunt from the speedy right-handed hitting Anderson. Middle infielders playing back. Shortstop and Bittner a couple steps towards the sixth hole. Second baseman Daigle ranging up the middle as well. Outfield about straight up. 1-0 pitch, swinging a chopper straight back for strike 1. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson singled back in the second inning. That was when he showed bunt, squared around, got it down. And the throw from the catcher and O'Brien faded in and hit him. Either way, 1 run was likely to score. Allowed every base runner to advance as well, as the 1-1 is taken outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So that was ruled an error on the catcher in O'Brien, which is a tough break. Again, it's such a difficult play for any catcher who, one, had to charge forward in front of the plate, pick up the ball barehanded, and throw the opposite direction at first, as the next pitch is swung and it fouled straight back, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Then, of course, naturally, when you throw from that angle, in which O'Brien did have to do sidearm, that throw is going to fade. And it's hard to find a throwing lane when you're throwing from that part of the infield because it's basically straight behind the runner. And in that case, it did hit Anderson. And then rolled into right field, which allowed every base runner to advance a base and 1 run to score. The 2-2, swinging a foul, back straight back again. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson making a little pop here in the press box. Got the plexiglass right behind home plate on back-to-back pitches. So the count holds at 2-2 here. A lengthy at-bat for him against Aberrett. Currently some action in the Saber Dogs bullpen. A right-hander starting to get up once again. We'll see how long Schmidt goes into this game. He's allowed 1 run through 2 innings of work thus far. Aberrett from the stretch. The 2-2 again. Swing and a pop up right side and out of play. Count will hold even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Justin Cooper on deck, then Gunnar McGrann here. Saber Dogs sent 4 men to the plate in the third inning. Started off with a double from Taylor Justice into the gap in left center field. Saber Dogs were not able to bring him around to score. After Miller lined out to right, Williams flew out to center, and Moore, same story, also flew out to Guajardo. Aberrett digs back onto the hill here. Count still even at 2 as Anderson digs back in the box. Here's his 2-strike delivery on the way. Breaking ball, backs up, misses outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lights starting to shine bright here on the turf tonight. Got a turf infield, grass outfield. Sun is setting beyond the first base side. From light blue into almost a pinkish yellow beyond the horizon. As the 3-2 is on its way. Swing the soft comebacker back to the mound. Aberrett fields it to his right, steps across, throws a bullet to first base in time to retire Anderson by a step and a half for out number 1. So 1-3 put out is the scoring on that one. That opens up this top of the fourth inning as they'll send up Justin Cooper to the plate. That is the first time tonight in which Aberrett, the starter for Wheat City, has been able to retire the leadoff batter. So hopefully that can help him piece together his quickest inning of work thus far. He has faced 4 batters twice so far this evening, both in the first and third innings. He faced 9 back in the second. Here's Cooper. He's had a couple knocks today. He's 2 for 2 as the first pitch is a breaking ball that grazes the inside corner for strike 1. 0-1. Cooper doubled in 2 runs back in the second inning. That gave the Saber Dogs the lead at the time. 4-3, now a 4-4 ball game. As the 0-1 is in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher O'Brien, rolls softly to the backstop for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for Cooper now, is 27 runs batted on the year. He's 3 for his last 4 as well, with 4 RBIs in that span. So the 1-1 pitch is swung and skied in the air, right center field. Drill ranging to his right, Guajardo to his left. It's Trey Guajardo who makes the jogging catch in the right center field alley for out number 2. So very good stuff from Aberrett. He's now retired 5 batters in a row in very quick fashion. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth, and has a chance to face the minimum for the first time tonight. That'll send up Gunnar McGrann, who's 0 for 2, a ground to second, struck out swinging as well. That came in the second inning against Aberrett. One of 2 punch-out victims for the Whiskey Jacks left-hander tonight. And it's always tough, as we mentioned, for a lefty to face an arm with the delivery of Aberrett as McGrann swings and softly chops this towards the first base dugout for strike 1. 0-1. He's one of 2 lefties in the lineup tonight, as we mentioned. Drew Miller the other. As McGran steps out, stares at the barrel of his bat, taps the plate, points in the direction of Aberrett. Now holds it above his left shoulder. Black stained bat tonight, white batting gloves, quite the contrast. As Aberrett delivers, taken up and away, ball one. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind still blowing out towards left center. The trees beyond the outfield wall swaying in multiple directions. That's how hard it's blowing this evening. So the 1-1 is taken at the knees, outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Even the jersey, plenty of the players tugging right now. Bittner, the shortstop, you could see the back of his jersey blowing in the wind. Aberrett, the chest portion of his jersey, gusting just a little bit as well. Here's his 1-2 delivery on the way. Breaking ball just misses a bit and stares a lot of late break on that one. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buckled McGran a little bit as he turned his back towards the pitcher's mound, thinking it was going to hit him. With a lot of late movement, just missed a little bit inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down now. Here's the pitch on the way. Good take from McGran, spitting on a off-speed pitch, it looked like right there for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes now here with 2 down. McGran looking to string something along right here and avoid the 1-2-3 inning. Aberrett looking for otherwise. Payoff pitch in the way. Swinging a soft fly ball, shallow left field. Langley on his horse. Can't get it, and it rolls behind him. McGran can run. He's steaming into second. He's going to round for 3. Langley just picking it up. Will get it back towards the infield as the throw is well wide to the third baseman in Sorensen. So that'll be a triple for Gunnar McGran. Misplayed by the outfielder Langley, who was a little bit too aggressive charging this. Tried to reach out and make the catch at the last minute. Could not as it rolled past him. So that'll be a triple for Gunnar McGran. His first knock of the night. He's now 1 for 3 here with 2 down. Here's Alan Greer. Chance for the lead. First pitch. Taken on the outside corner. Strike 1. 0-1. Good piece of hitting from McGran as well. Pitch down away. Just threw the bat at it. Hit it off the end of the bat. Hit a soft slicing line drive towards left field. As Aberrett kicks and tosses the 0-1 pitch. He's at the top of the zone. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. So he quickly climbs ahead of Greer, who hasn't taken the bat off the shoulders yet. He's 0 for 1 tonight. A strikeout looking, also walked back in the second inning. Aberrett from the first base side peers in for the side. McGran ready to run. The 0-2 is swung on a hit on a hard hop to the shortstop. Bittner rolls behind him into left center field for a knock. Here comes McGran to score. Alan Greer gives the Saber Dogs their lead right back. It's 5-4. Here in the top of the 4th inning. And again, a tough play for Bittner. A hard top-spinning steamer towards his right. Tried to pick it on the in-between hop. Could not get it as it evaded his glove and rolled into left center field for a knock. So there's Greer's first hit of the night. RBI number 41 for him on the year as the Saber Dogs take a 5-4 lead. Here's Steve Moretto. He's 0 for 2. First pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken down and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So a very good start to the frame for Aberrett, who retired the first 2 batters he faced on what was eventually 5 in a row as well. Gives up the triple to McGran on a tough break, a ball misplayed by Langley in left. And then an RBI single from Greer. Next pitch, taken up and away, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Moreto's been up a couple of times with runners in scoring position. Has not been able to bring in any. A line out to left and a pop to first. A good spot here for him to drive in Greer from first, who has good speed, and a hitter's count 2-0. Put something into the alley. May be able to score Greer from first base, who will be going on contact as the next pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by the catcher O'Brien for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. The catcher and Taylor Justice on deck. If Moretto can extend the frame. Aberrett from the stretch. Fires. The 3-0. Runner goes. Take it for a strike. The throw from O'Brien is on line and in plenty of time to retire Alan Greer. A strike, a bullet, a laser out of the right hand of O'Brien behind the plate for Wheat City. Is that guns down a speedy runner at second base in Alan Greer. That sends us to the bottom of the 4th. Saber Dogs take the lead on the RBI single from Alan Greer, assisted by the triple from McGran. 5-4 Souris Valley, your score. We'll be right back after this quick break. Bottom half of the fourth inning, 5-4. Saber Dogs, your score, bringing in another run to score. Started with the triple from Gunnar McGrant, followed by the RBI single from Alan Greer. Here's Declan Harper into the game, out for his 9th outing of the year, 1-2 record with an 8.02 ERA. He kicks and tosses his first pitch on the way to Cameron Daigle. Is a swing and a fly ball down the right field side and foul for strike one. 0-1. Harper, 12 1/3 of an innings worked thus far this season. Has struggled in his last couple outings. Has given up a combined 5 earned runs through about 6 innings of work. So the 0-2 is a fastball that bites the inside corner. Strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes. Put together a good outing against these Whiskey Jacks back here in Grand Forks back in the 9th. Winning an inning in a third, 2 runs. One of them was earned. As he kicks and tosses the 0-2. Fastball top of the zone. Checking his swing is Daigle, and the appeal to first base says he went around as Ingman, the field umpire, rings him up. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Good start for Declan Harper. So now with the tandem of Schmick, who finished the 3rd, and Harper, who started the 4th, that's 3 consecutive Whiskey Jacks bats that have been retired via the punch-out. That's the first one looking in that span. Here's the top of the order in Caleb McDowell as the first pitch, the fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. McDowell 1 for 2, a single and a ground to short here as Harper comes set from the first base side. Kicks and fires the 1-0 as a fastball taken upstairs, ball 2. 2-0. Nolan Lingley on deck here. Whiskey Jacks were able to push across a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning on the RBI single from Dean Bittner. As the 2-0 delivery is on its way. Fastball taken up and in, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. So now 5 runs, 8 hits, an error for Souris Valley. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Wheat City. Harper peers in from the first base side, nods his head in agreement with Justice. Kicks and fires. The 3-0 is a fastball taken up and in. 4 ball, 4. So there's a walk to McDowell. 2nd time he's reached tonight. So that puts out the tying run at first base here with 1 down. That brings up Nolan Lingley to the plate, who's 0 for 1. Walked in the first, grounded out to the shortstop. And Cooper back in the 2nd inning. Harper would love that same result right here. A chance to turn 2 and get out of this frame quite quickly. Just about an hour and 15 minutes through this ball game. First pitch at 7:05 local time. Just about 8:25 local time here at Kraft Field. Righty on right. Harper from the stretch fires the first pitch. Fastball, immaculate spot, bites the outside corner, just crosses the knees. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Langley in left field tonight. Swinging from the right side. Middle infielders in double play depth. Moretto straight up at 3rd, playing back behind the bag. McDowell being held on at first by Moore as the next pitch is swung on and lined in the right field for a base hit. McDowell and his horse tapped 2nd. He's heading for 3rd. Alan Greer up with it. Here's his throw. A laser to 3rd, a little bit offline as it pulls Moretto off the bag towards the left field side of the 3rd base bag. So there's a single for Langley. First knock of the night allowed by Harper. 1st and 3rd, 1 down as that puts the tying run at 3rd base. Here for a threatening bat and Jake Jelly coming to the plate. Jelly 1 for 2. Struck out looking the first, opened up the last inning offensively for Wheat City with a single. That came in the 3rd. Was then picked off by Schmick, trying to advance to second base, trying to steal second base, I should say. Chance to redeem that right here and pick up a run and tie this game. Again, 1st and 3rd. Inning started with a strikeout looking to Daigle. McDowell walked, Lingley singled. So Harper digs his right foot into the first base side of the rubber here and leans it for the sign, gets it from his backstop in Justice. Wind still blowing hard out towards center as Harper kicks and tosses. The first pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher and Justice sliding to 2 knees. 1 ball, no strikes here with 1 down. Jelly has 33 runs batted in the year, hitting at a .353 clip. Absolutely the most daunting bat in this lineup for Wheat City. Perfect man for this spot as the next pitch is swung on the line hard down the right field line. It will slice foul for strike 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson Sorensen on deck, who also has a lot of pop here. Tough task here for Harper as he is set to face the meat of this Whiskey Jacks lineup with, of course, the tying run at 3rd and the go-ahead run at 1st. Harper, glove tucked into his hip, comes set at the chest. Kicks and tosses the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a lot off that one. Maybe an off-speed pitch right there that Jelly was out in front of. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. It's a good spot here for Harper, who quickly comes back onto the rubber and leans it for the sign. Jelly races back into the right-hander's batter's box, taps the plate here, just looking to put a ball in play, preferably elevate something into the outfield. He's set. Fires the 1-2. Fastball taken outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Five for Saber Dogs, your score here. 1 down, bottom of the 4th inning, runners at the corners. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harper's pitch in the way, breaking ball backs up, misses upstairs, ball 3. Countdown runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. For Harper, command has been a struggle this year. 14 walks and 12 1/3 of an innings work to 15 strikeouts. 4 of those walks came in his last outing. In fact, he's walked 8 batters in his last 3. As there goes the runner, swing and a high fly ball out to deep right field. Greer trailing back towards the track, reaches up, can't make the catch. Coming around third to score is McDowell. To third goes Langley. Had a late jump. He'll get into third base standing up. An RBI single, make that an RBI double for Jake Jelly, launching it the other way to tie this ball game up at 5-5. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, again, the wind likely aiding this one. Alan Greer, who covers a lot of ground, continued to race back towards the track, reached up, and almost looked like he overran it. Almost looked like he reached back almost towards behind him. It was over his head, hopped off the track. Now the runner at second base, the back runner, and Langley, who represents the go-ahead run, had a tough time picking it up on whether Greer caught it or not. So he was almost standing up on second base, just trying to read it. Eventually realized it did get away from Greer. So he was only able to get to third. Remember, he was going on the pitch, so had he had a better read on it, maybe would have been able to score. But again, with the height of this ball, and you add on to the fact that Alan Greer had a chance to run this down, he had to be careful. Made the right move. He's at third base, 90 feet away for a threatening bat, and Jackson Sorensen coming to the plate. 5-5 your score now, second and third. Third baseman Moretto even with the bag. First baseman Moore, same story. Middle infielder's back. Sorensen 1 for 1, doubled off the left field wall his last time up. That came in the third. It's the first pitch from Harper is a fastball taken down and in, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So an RBI for Jelly, number 34 on the season, who takes his lead from second base. Harper, the first base side, pauses at the chest, kicks and tosses the 1-0, taken outside, snapped into third. Tag applied by Moretto is going to be in time. What a play by Taylor Justice, taking advantage of an aggressive secondary by Langley at third base and threw a perfect strike to Moretto, who applied the tag on the back of Langley, sliding in late. That's a big play. 2 outs now. Eliminates the go-ahead run being 90 feet away. That now moves to the feet of Jake Jelly at second. 2-0 to Sorensen, swinging a ground ball wide of first. Ethan Moore plays it on the long hop, taps on the pillow as that will retire the side. A lot of credit to Taylor Justice as he helps his arm, I should say helps his pitcher and Declan Harper get out of what was a mammoth jam and keeps this ball game tied at 5 apiece here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That sends us to the top of the 5th, just about halfway through this one at Kraft Field. 5-5 your score as you're listening to Expedition League Baseball live on the Souris Valley Saber Dogs Radio Network. Top half of the 5th inning here live from Grand Forks, North Dakota. 5-5 your score. Saber Dogs looking to add on here. Again, a very tight battle. quick responses from both ends. It was the Whiskey Jacks who took the lead in the first with 3. Saber Dogs would answer back with 4 in the next half. Whiskey Jacks tied it in the bottom of the third at 4-4. So the first pitch from Aberrett is a fastball taken upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Then after the Whiskey Jacks tied it up, the Saber Dogs brought around another run to score in the top of the fourth. The next half inning to lead 5-4. Zoom a half inning later, you could probably guess it, Whiskey Jacks tie it up as Moretto swings and belts this ball out to deep left field. Going back, looking up is Lingley. This one's gone. Off the netting and over the wall for a solo shot for Steve Moretto as the Saber Dogs take the lead. Right back, right on cue. It's 6-5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Steve Moretto ties Ethan Moore for the team lead in home runs. That is number 6 on the season, RBI number 27. And that was a shot. It's 330 feet, 30 feet down that left field line. And he hit the base of that netting beyond the left field wall. So the tug-of-war affair continues here. 6-5 again, your score. Here's Taylor Justice with nobody out. Aberrett from the stretch, pitching the way. He's a breaking ball in the inside corner, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. So your updated line score, 6 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Saber Dogs. 5 runs, 7 hits, an error for Wheat City. Aberrett peers it for the side, shakes once, now nods. Here's the 0-1. Justice shows bunt, drags it down the third base line. A good one. It will roll foul, however. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Justice showing late, trying to take advantage of the third baseman Sorensen, who was playing back behind the bag. Count now moves to no balls and 2 strikes. So we talk about the tug-of-war affair here between these two ball clubs tonight. Well, it's been a similar narrative for the home run race, at least individually on this ball club, really between Stephen Moretto, Drew Miller, and Ethan Moore. Ethan Moore and Moretto now tied with 6. Drew Miller came in with 5. And we saw them chase each other a lot back a couple weekends ago over against the Pioneers in western Nebraska. As Aberrett comes set and fires the 0-2, swinging a soft ground ball wide to third. The shortstop, Bittner, ranges to his right, picks it up, throws across the first base. Then is in time to retire Justice by a step for out number 1. So 1 down now here in the top of the 5th. That brings up Drew Miller to the plate. But as we mentioned, Miller homered on that Friday night in Game 1 of the series against the Pioneers. That gave him 5. Tied him with Ethan Moore, who had that lead for a while at 5. Stephen Moretto homered that same night, giving him 5. And then Moore would homer on Sunday with the grand slam. So the first pitch is on its way from Aberrett. That's a breaking ball upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So about a week and a half or so, Moore held that lead with 6. Just 1 over Miller and Moretto. But Moretto, of course, just tying it up a couple moments ago. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And with Moretto, you got to imagine if he showed up a couple weeks earlier, he very likely would have also been a part of the All-Star Game at festivities. He has just been tremendous this year. The 1-1 pitch is taken just a bit outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. I mean, the offensive numbers speak for themselves now, as we mentioned, now tied for the team lead in home runs. Came in tonight hitting at a .344 clip. As the 2-1 is on its way, swinging a hard line drive, caught by the first baseman Jelly, who reaches to his right for out number 2. So Miller retired for the second time tonight. Hit that one hard, but Jelly was able to nab it out of the air. 2 down now as that brings up Jordan Williams. Just back to the accolades for Moretto. Entering tonight, slashing .344, .354, .622. That's right, a .622 slugging percentage. That homer obviously boosting that a bit. An OPS of .976. First pitch to Williams is a breaking ball taken down, low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And the most impressive piece, I think, from Moretto is the run he had from July 10th, which is the last time Souris Valley saw Wheat City before tonight, all the way to July 16th against the Pioneers, as the next pitch is swung in the line down the left field line and foul. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. In that span, that was 13 runs batted in and 4 homers for Moretto from July 10th all the way to July 16th, with a couple days off in between, might I add. So the next pitch is at the knees, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In fact, from July 14th to 16th alone, he homered in 3 consecutive games and drove in 9 runs in that span. So the 1-2 is a breaking ball, a sharp one, swing and a miss for strike 3, as that will end the inning. So hold that thought. Aberrett picks up punch-out number 3 on the evening, as that sends us to the bottom of the 5th. Saber Dogs take their lead right back on the solo shot from Steve Moretto. We're halfway through this one at Kraft Field. Your score, the Saber Dogs 6, Wheat City 5. Welcome back to Kraft Field, halfway point here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. A gorgeous night for baseball. Sun continues to set. Cotton candy skies on the horizon. Blue to pink to a little bit more blue here, as Saber Dogs have a 6-5 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning, thanks to this Steve Moretto solo shot out to deep left field. Declan Harper out for his second inning of work, allowed 1 run to score in that 4th inning. We'll now get 5, 6, and 7, Drill, Bittner, and O'Brien. First pitch is a breaking ball that runs outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Drill 1 for 2 tonight, an RBI single in the first, reached on an E5 in the 3rd inning as well. As Harper leans it for the side, nods his head, now comes set from the first base side of the hill. Kicks and tosses, the 1-0 is a fastball taken up and in, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 6 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Saber Dogs. 5 runs, 7 hits, an error for Wheat City. Harper comes set, first base side of the hill. Kicks and fires, the 2-0 pitch in the way, swing and a foul, straight back, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Drill 1 for 2, he's reached base twice, an RBI single in the first on a line drive to right. His 11th RBI of the year, also reached on an E5 by Moretto back in the 3rd inning. That helped that run come around to score. That was Sorensen on the RBI single from Bittner. Next pitch, breaking ball spiked in the dirt, down the way, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike now. So it's going to be a bullpen game tonight, bullpen by committee. The game started with Connor Bertien making his Saber Dogs debut. Last 1 inning, allowed 3 runs, and then passed it off to Schmick. So the next pitch is a fastball over the middle of the plate, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Allowed 1 run through 2 innings of work. And then Miklos would pass the baton to Declan Harper, who's gotten through an inning, allowing 1 run thus far. Here out for his 2nd inning of work here in the bottom of the 5th. He's set, fires. The 3-2 is spiked, taken down low, 4 ball 4. So there's a leadoff walk to Nolan Drill. That's the 2nd walk of the ball game, surrendered by Harper tonight, as that'll send up Dean Bittner to the plate. Bittner's had a good night so far. 2 RBIs, numbers 16 and 17 on the campaign. Walked in the 1st inning, singled in the 3rd as well. And the Whiskey Jacks have done a good job of stringing around base runners. The Saber Dogs, one of the main reasons they have the lead right now is they've been able to take advantage of a lot of mistakes. So the first pitch is a fastball over the inside corner, strike 1. 0-1. Of course, the error back a couple innings ago could be one of them, but also a runner getting picked off. That was Jelly. As well as Langley getting back picked at 3rd. Back with a 2nd and 3rd spot in that 4th inning. So the next pitch is taken down away for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And for Harper, that was a tough spot. Of course, you had the tying run, make that the go-ahead run at 3rd base. And some insurance at 2nd with 1 down. A fly ball would have done the job. As the next pitch is swung and lined off the backstop for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But again, double play was not in order. And the middle infielders were playing back. So a ground ball likely would have given the Whiskey Jacks the lead at 6-5 themselves. Now the Saber Dogs lead 6-5. But Langley got back-picked on a perfect snap throw from Justice behind the plate, which really changed the perplexity, of that inning. So the next pitch is a breaking ball taken upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Because all of a sudden that becomes a 2-out runner on second spot. It takes a base hit to take the lead, in which the Whiskey Jacks could not. 2-2, swing, and another foul off the backstop. Count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They have another spot right here. Again, a lot of traffic on the base paths for them this evening. As Drill's at first base after the leadoff walk. So Bittner steps into the box from the right side. Harper shakes once, now twice, and comes set as he finally finds a pitch in agreement. 2-2 is up and in, ball 3. Bittner has to duck out of the way. 3 balls, 2 strikes here with nobody out. Keenan O'Brien on deck, then Trey Guajardo here. 6-5, Saber Dogs your score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Harper, wind, tugging his jersey. He comes set and delivers the 3-2, swinging a high fly ball center field. Anderson takes a couple steps back, readjusts to his left as the wind picks it up, makes the grab with 2 hands, as that'll be out number 1. Drew retreats over to first base. So good rebound for Harper after the leadoff walk. That brings up the backstop, and Keenan O'Brien to the plate, who's 0 for 1. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the first, struck out courtesy of Schmick back in the 3rd inning as well. Righty on right, double play ends the inning here for Harper. As he lifts and tosses the first pitch, it's a fastball taken upstairs, ball 1, snap throw to first base, a lot more casual than the other from Justice. Back in safely, standing up goes Drill. Again, just threw casually from 2 knees, just lobbed it over there to first base almost, trying to catch Drill off guard, could not. As Harper fires the 1-0 pitch, it's a fastball taken upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. It reminds me of a play. I believe I brought it up the last time Justice did it because he's done it a few times this year. I believe it was Kurt Suzuki in spring training with the Minnesota Twins a couple years ago, where he gave it the no-look backpick attempt and backpicked a runner successfully. So the next pitch is a fastball taken outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. It's hard to tell from this angle. I'm not quite sure Justice went with the no-look right there, but similar concept, just trying to catch that runner off guard because usually, of course, when a catcher tries to snap a runner at first base, it's a very quick movement, very emphatical movement. So the next pitch is a fastball taken upstairs for ball 4. So it'll be a walk to Keenan O'Brien, second of the inning, allowed by Harper. Going to be a first and second spot now with 1 down as that brings up Trey Guajardo to the plate. Some action in the Saber Dogs bullpen. A right-hander starting to get stretched here. As Harper digs back onto the hill. Either way, it takes a lot of poise, a lot of confidence to be able to make a throw like that. Because Justice, again, trying to be deceptive, didn't even move his chest towards first base. Almost basically looked like he was throwing the ball back to the pitchers. Guajardo shows bunt, pops it up behind the plate, will fly out of play for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. But usually the catcher will pivot towards first base. A very quick movement, but Justice, with both knees on the ground, basically made the same motion he would as if he was lobbing it back to the pitcher, just changed the direction he was throwing. He made a very accurate throw. It was perfectly on line. Couldn't get as much on it as if he were to go with the traditional approach. Drill takes his lead from second base. O'Brien from first. Guajardo looking to put the ball in play for the first time tonight, who struck out twice. He shows bunt again. The 0-1 is a fastball taken inside. He pulls back his bunt attempt for ball 1. Count evens at 1-1 here with 1 down. Cameron Daigle on deck. He's 0 for 2. A fly to left, struck out looking. Back in the 4th inning as well. Harper peers it for the side, first base side, comes set. Kicks and tosses the 1-1, showing bunt again is Guajardo. He pulls back and takes a fastball at the knees, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, so he once again finds himself behind here. Tough man to double up at the plate, has a lot of speed here from the left side as well. We'll get an extra step or 2. Harper kicks and tosses. The 1-2 is a fastball taken upstairs. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inning started with the walk to Drill, a fly to center from Bittner, then a walk to O'Brien. 6-5, Souris Valley tying run in scoring position here for Wheat City in the bottom of the 5th. Go-ahead run at first. Harper delivers the 2-2, taken down low, ball 3, appeal to second base, says Guajardo did not go. As the bat left his shoulder by a couple of inches. He held back, 3 balls, 2 strikes. here with one down. So Harper looking to pound the zone right here, make a quality pitch, does not want to walk the bases loaded. Cameron Daigle, the 9-0 hitter, looming on deck. Harper shrugs his shoulders and pauses. The payoff pitch, swinging a hard ground ball, right side. That's through into right field for a base hit. Drill getting the wave around third. Here's Greer's throw to the plate. It is cut off by Ethan Moore. Into third, standing up goes O'Brien. An RBI single for Trey Guajardo as that once again ties this ball game up. It's 6-6 here at the bottom of the fifth inning. Guajardo checks in with his first hit and RBI of the night. Fifth run batted in of the evening as well. That's the first knock allowed by Harper in this inning, I should say. Third of the evening. And the go-ahead run's now at third base, 90 feet away from Cameron Daigle. So 6-6 your score. Guajardo at first base, O'Brien at third. Daigle 0 for 2 tonight, a fly to left and a strikeout looking in the fourth. He shows bunt. Beautiful bunt down the first base line. Harper bobbles it with his glove, can't find the recovery. Everybody's safe. Coming around to score is Keenan O'Brien, and the Whiskey Jacks take the lead. It's now 7-6 here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and Alex Miklas quickly walks out of the dugout and will point his left finger towards the bullpen. We're going to see a pitching change. It'll be an infield single for Daigle, a beautiful push bunt, evading the hole between the first baseman Ethan Moore and the pitcher, and Harper, who reached out with his glove, could not pick it up cleanly. There was no question that O'Brien would score from third base. RBI number 6 on the year for Daigle gives the Whiskey Jacks a 7-6 lead. New pitcher on the mound here for the Saber Dogs. 7-6. Whiskey Jacks, your score. It's going to be first and second, one down when we return. Welcome back to Kraft Field, 7-6. Whiskey Jacks, your score. They're threatening for more. First and second, one down. For the top of the order, and Caleb McDowell, new arm of the mound, right-hander Matt Jacks, now for the first time since July 12th, as his first pitch is on its way. It misses inside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson 1-0 record with a 5.83 ERA. 11 outings, 2 starts, 29 strikeouts to 21 walks, and 24 2/3 of an inning's work. Looking to weave out of this jam right here. From the stretch, pauses at the chest, kicks fires. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball that glides across the outside corner for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for Jackson, this will be his first outing in a couple of weeks here. Just looking to get back into the swing of things right now. And a tough spot to inherit. Again, just arrived to the team today, about 5 hours ago. So the 1-1 is swung on in line to center field. Anderson sprinting back. He'll reach up and make the catch. Tagging from second base is Guajardo. He'll scamper into third base with the slide. So line out to center. McDowell hits it on the button, but Anderson able to reel it in. 2 down now, first and third for Noah Lingley. Back to that point for Jackson, arriving with the ball club about 5 hours ago or so. And then all of a sudden inheriting a first and second spot, I should say, with 1 down. Trailing by 1, is able to retire the first batter he faces, and it is an out away from keeping this a 1-run deficit. So here's Noah Lingley to the plate. He's 1 for 2, a walk, a ground out, singled in the 4th inning as well. Infield shifting Lingley slightly to pull, righty on right. Jackson from the stretch. Pauses and tosses the first pitch. Runner goes. It's going to run inside and hit Lingley on the backside towards the front left shoulder. So that'll load the bases up here with 2 down as that sends up Jake Jelly to the plate. 3rd time tonight, Lingley has reached a walk, a single, now a hit by pitch. So a threatening bat coming to the plate here. The bases are loaded, 2 down. And really the first time tonight, the Whiskey Jacks have had an opportunity to break open the floodgates. Jelly 2 for 3, struck out looking in the first, singled in the 3rd, doubled in a run in the 4th inning. Your base runners, Lingley at first base, Stagel at second, Guajardo at third base. Everybody will be going on contact. Jackson's first pitch is a fastball, taken upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And again, the biggest lead we've seen tonight by either end was 3 after the bottom of the 1st inning, where the Whiskey Jacks brought around 3 runs to score, and it didn't last for long. So the Saber Dogs, answered back with 4 the next half inning. Besides that, a lot of 1-run leads. So the 1-2 is swung on and chopped straight back, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So for the Whiskey Jacks right here, a golden opportunity as we sit just about halfway through this one. 7-6 your score. Again, offense has been the story thus far. Due up for Souris Valley when we return for the top of the 6th after this half inning will be 8, 9, and 1. Ethan Moore, Reese Anderson, and Justin Cooper. Jackson from the stretch, lifts and tosses. The 1-1 is a breaking ball, taken down, away ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. So Jackson, of course, with a couple runners on, going from the stretch here instead of the windup. Usually goes from the windup with nobody on, of course. Force it all bags here. Outfield about straight up as Jackson kicks and delivers the 2-1 pitch. Fastball just misses outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Really close spot. You can see the catcher Justice turn and ask Paul Sedicase where that one missed. He signaled that it was just a little bit outside. So a hitter's count here for Jelly. 3-1, 2 down. Jackson has to throw a quality pitch right here. Nowhere to put the all-star first baseman. Jackson from the stretch. The 3-1 on the way is a fastball that just misses a bit down low. 4 ball 4. Really close spot as Justice holds on the ball, has an extra long conversation with Paul Sedicase. That'll force in a run to score. That's Guajardo from third base. An RBI for Jelly, his 2nd of the night, 35th on the year. As that extends the Whiskey Jacks lead. It's now 8-6 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So here's the 9th man to the plate in this frame. Doesn't get much easier here for Jackson. The cleanup hitter in Jackson Sorensen is 1 for 2, a walk, a double, and a ground to first. Base is still loaded. Jelly at first now, Lingley at second, and Daigle at third base. Jackson from the first base side of the hill comes. Top of the 6th inning, 9-6 Whiskey Jacks your score after they push across 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Moore will lead it off against Gene Aberrett, who's now throwing from the right side. His first pitch on the way to Moore is a fastball at the top of the zone, strike 1, 0-1. And we saw this with Aberrett his last time out against Souris Valley just about 3 weeks ago or so. Started from the left side, pitched his final inning from the right. So the next pitch is swung on in line to the left field. That one's down for a base hit. Ethan Moore picks up a single with a line drive out down the left field line. That's a good start here for Souris Valley as they look to get back into this ball game. So Aberrett, and as we mentioned, is ambidextrous, just like Pat Venditti, an ambidextrous pitcher who had a little bit of a run in the big leagues. Pitched for Team Italy as well in the World Baseball Classic. helps Aberrett at least maybe throw about 10, 20 more pitches here. Is this first pitch to Anderson. He shows bunt, pulls back, snapped out to first base, more back in safely. When Aberrett came and changed to the right side back in his last outing, which came in the 7th inning of that game last time out, a much different look to that ball game, which was a pitcher's duel. He started to struggle a bit. It looked as if fatigue had been setting in. He's looking to get through this 6th inning right here and hold this 3-run lead for Wheat City. Anderson 1 for 2. Reaching the bunt single back in the 2nd. Aberrett from the belt. Now the right side. Pauses. Long pause. Fires the 1-0. Swinging a fly ball. Center field shallow. Guajardo ranging in. He'll sit underneath this one to make the catch. In right center for out number 1. Souris Anderson retired for the 2nd time tonight. And I'll send up Justin Cooper to the plate. Cooper 2 for 3. Singled in the 1st. Doubled in the 2nd. Flew out to center field in the 4th inning as well.
Now batting the shortstop, number 1, Justin Cooper.
Cooper doubled in 2 runs in the 2nd inning. That was RBI's 26 and 27 on the year. Aberrett from the stretch fires the first pitch. It's a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here with 1 down. 4th time through the order here for the Saber Dogs lineup. As Cooper chokes up on his bat a little bit. Aberrett tosses the 1-0. Cooper shows bunt, pulls back, takes inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So hitters count here for the Saber Dogs shortstop. Again, they have 10 hits, out hitting the Whiskey Jacks thus far. Wheat City taking advantage of a lot of free passes back in that last frame. Also an error on each end. 2-0 on the way. Fastball, outside corner, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ethan Moore, good speed at first base, has 3 stolen bags. We haven't seen him be too aggressive this year on the base paths, however. Saber Dogs coming into the night, still 2nd in the league in stolen bags with 174 behind Sioux Falls. Aberrett tosses the 2-1 on the outside corner with a heater for strike 2. 2-2 now. Right-hander starting to warm up down the Saber Dogs bullpen. We'll see if Matt Jackson gets his 2nd inning of work. Aberrett, only man used by Wheat City tonight thus far, as the 2-2 is swung and lined hard down the left field line. It'll hook foul as the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gunnar McGrann, the second baseman, on deck. That'll be Alan Greer, the right fielder. His time is now called. They're getting that ball back to the home plate umpire, Paul Sedicase. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Game 1 of 4 here between the Saber Dogs and the Whiskey Jacks. 4-game set last time these 2 teams will meet this year. Not for a potential postseason matchup, as the 2-2 just misses upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of Lewis painted on that schedule as of late for the Whiskey Jacks, as we mentioned, facing the Big Sticks 5 times over the last week. As there goes the runner, the pitch on the way is taken outside, 4-4. So there'll be a walk to Justin Cooper. Moore was on the run. He'll walk into second base standing up. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. That'll send up the tying run to the plate in the second baseman and Gunnar McGrann, who tripled his last time up. But as we were mentioning for this Whiskey Jacks ball club, 5 against the Big Sticks over the last 5 nights. They dropped 4 of the 5. Then they have 4 here against Souris Valley, 2 of the top teams in this Lewis division, for 9 consecutive days. So a little bit of a tough schedule for them, but of course leading here against Souris Valley here tonight. First pitch on the way to McGrann is a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. McGrann 1 for 3, tripled in that 4th inning, as we mentioned just a couple moments ago. That was a big knock. As it put him at third base with 2 outs, he would come around to score on the RBI single from Alan Greer, which at the time tied the game up as the 1-0. Or I should say gave the Saber Dogs the lead. As the next pitch is a fastball top of the zone, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Besides that, McGrann is riding out to second, also struck out swinging in the 2nd inning as well. Moore takes his lead from second, Cooper from first. Lefty on right, Aberrett from the stretch. Fires the 1-1. Off-speed pitch, misses upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's a heavy pitch out of the right hand of Aberrett right there. A lot of late vertical drop on it as he tried to bite the top of the zone. McGrann very likely pleased to see Aberrett from the right side now as he digs back into the left-hander's batter's box. The 2-1. Fastball misses down and in, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. So it seems that Aberrett's struggling with his command a little bit the last couple of batters or so, particularly when he came in from the right side. Walked Cooper. Maybe on his way to walking McGrann right here. Hitters count 3-1, 1 down. He's set from the stretch. 3-1 on the way is taken up and in, 4-4. That'll be a walk to McGran. The bases are loaded here with one down. So that'll send up Alan Greer to the plate. Alan Greer 1 for 2, struck out looking the first, walked in the second. Drove in a run with an RBI single in the fourth inning. So an ultra important spot in this ball game right now. In fact, the biggest we've seen thus far. 9-6 Whiskey Jacks, bases loaded. First pitch to Alan Greer, fastball up and in, ball one. 1 ball, no strike. So you have the tying run at first base, the go-ahead run at the plate. Best hitter in this lineup at the plate for Souris Valley as well, you could argue, in Alan Greer. Here's the 1-0 on the way. Off-speed pitch, taken at the top of the zone, strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. You have good speed on the base paths. Moore at third base, Cooper at second. McGran at first. Corners drawn in, middle back, force it all backs. Sabre will kick and toss the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a line drive, right center field. Drill on his horse. This one's down for a base hit as it rolls towards the track. Moore will score right behind him. Cooper. McGran getting the stop sign at third. A 2-run RBI single for Alan Greer as that makes this a 1-run ball game. What a nice piece of hitting by Alan Greer, serving a line drive into the gap in right center field. Picks up RBIs numbers 2 and 3 on the night, 42 and 43 on the year. And we got a 9-8 ball game. Here comes Robbie Laughlin out to the mound. He's going to point his right finger towards the home bullpen. And we are going to see a pitching change. So that'll be it for Aberrett. Allowed 8 runs through 5 1/3. He's still responsible for Greer at first base and McGran at third. When we return, it'll be the hot-hitting and dangerous bat of Steve Moretto coming to the plate with runners at the corners and 1 down and a chance to tie this game up, if not give the Saber Dogs the lead. 9-8 your score. We'll return for the remainder of this top of the 6th inning in just a couple of moments. Welcome back to Kraft Field. Exciting ball game tonight. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks, your score, top of the 6th inning. First and third, 1 down, 2 runs in on the 2-run single from Alan Greer. Tying run down 90 feet away in the feet of Gunnar McGran. Go ahead and run out first base, and Greer, of course. Here's Steve Moretto to the plate against a new right-hander, Julio Acosta, out to the mound, standing at 5'11", 175 pounds, out of Tampa, Florida. Here's his first pitch. Swing and a high pop-up right side, out of play, strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Moretto, big blast, came back in the 5th inning, a home run out to left field, his 6th of the year at the time, gave Souris Valley a 6-5 lead. That is, of course, turned into a 9-8 deficit as we speak. Fly ball does the job and likely ties this game right here. Something in the gap may give Souris Valley the lead with Greer's speed. Righty on right, Acosta from the stretch, kicks, tosses. The 0-1 is a fastball that runs inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Acosta this year has put up good numbers, a 2.25 ERA in 2 outings, 7 strikeouts to no walks in 4 innings of work. He allowed just 1 run. That was in his last outing against Badlands over in Dickinson on July 24th, a couple nights ago. Acosta from the stretch. His next pitch, swinging a bounding ball, shortstop side. Bittner slides to his right, makes the play, throws to second for 1. The relay to first base is not in time. Gunnar McGran was not going on the play, so no run is in. That'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. As Moreno reaches at first. What a nice play by Bittner, ranging to his right. This was hit hard. Looked like he had a bad jump on it as he was ranging up the middle of the diamond. Made up for that, sliding to his right. Slid on both knees. Had a good lane to throw to second base. Slung it over to the second baseman, Daigle. But then it tossed across the first base. Moreno was safe at first. And again, McGran was not going on the play. So no run is in. Still 9-8. First and third, 2 down. Here's Taylor Justice. Acosta from the stretch. First base side. The first pitch is a breaking ball that bites the outer edge. Strike 1. 0-1. So Acosta, a chance to get out of this inning here and bail out Aberrett, who switched from throwing left-handed to right-handed on the bump and struggled. Was only able to pick up 1 out here in this 6th inning and allowed 2 runs. He's responsible for McGran at third as well. 0-1, swinging a high fly ball, right field drill. Takes a step to his left, readjusts to his right. He'll step underneath this one to make the grab. That will retire the side. Nice work from Julio Acosta. Able to get out of a first and third jam here with 1 down in the top of the 6th. Saber Dogs bring around 2 runs to score on the 2-run single from Alan Greer. That sends us to the bottom of the 6th. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks, your score. Bottom half. Jackson turns, kicks in, tosses. The 3-2 to O'Brien on the way. Swing and a foul off to the right side. 3-2 to the count. Correction, apologies. O'Brien at the plate. Guajardo on deck. It was Bittner who flew out to center. As Jackson steps onto the first base side of the hill. Turns, kicks, fires. The payoff pitch is a breaking ball well outside. 4-4. So O'Brien will walk. That'll bring up Guajardo to the plate.
The center fielder from St. Mary's University, number 19, Trey Guajardo.
Guajardo, as we mentioned before, drove in a run back in that 5th inning. So 1 on, 1 out. Some much-needed insurance in O'Brien at first base. Jackson from the first base side of the hill peers it for the sign. Glove tucked into his chest. Now brings it to his letters on his jersey as he kicks and fires. First pitch is a fastball taken outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Guajardo up at the plate now. Daigle on deck. Then it will be the top of the ordering. Caleb McDowell. As Jackson settles from the first base side. Kicks and tosses the 1-0 as a fastball that Sizzles across the inside corner, strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sun is continuing to set here at the ballpark. Cloud coverage on the horizon in the distance, but not playing a role here at the ballpark this evening. Very clear night, very warm night. It was about 90 degrees here at first pitch. Has cooled down just a bit. There's a check over to first base. Back in safely goes O'Brien. Guajardo slightly open stance for the left side, digs back in. Jackson from the first base side of the hill comes set. Here's his 1-1. It's a fastball inside. Guajardo scoots out of the way, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to count now. Just about hit the 2-hour mark, which is quite impressive for a game that's brought around 17 combined runs. You'd imagine it'd be a little bit lengthier. So the next pitch is swung on and found into the glove of Justice for strike 2. 2-2. Again, this game could still end up being just over 3 hours with 17-plus runs scored. Again, shows the just quickness of the pace from the pitching staffs on both ends. And a lot of balls in play, minus a couple of innings where walks were a struggle for the Saber Dogs. There's a swing and a pop, shallow center. Anderson got a late jump. Step back, now races in. Will make the catch trailing towards the infield turf for out number 2. So Guajardo flies out to center field. That'll bring up Cameron Daigle to the plate here with 2 down. Daigle 1 for 3, flew to left, struck out looking in the 4th, singled in a run in the 5th. Let's take a look at some of the scores around the league here. Big Sticks and Tommyknockers, that's a crucial series. Both tied for that second playoff spot right now at 12-9. Big Sticks up 4-1 currently, top 7. So the first pitch from Jackson is a fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And again, if the Big Sticks can take that series and pick up a sweep potentially, that could really set the tone for the remainder of this second half. Spuds and Horsheads also facing off a 4-0 Spuds lead in the bottom of the 5th over against Casper. So the next pitch is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. 1-1. Moo and Sodbusters, that's a tight one. Tied at 1 over in Hastings, bottom of the 9th. The Sodbusters have a chance to walk it off at Duncan Field. Sasquatch and Trappers, Spearfish up 9-4 over Pierre in the bottom of the 6th. So the 1-1 pitch is on its way. Swing and a pop-up straight back out of play. Strike 2. 1-2. We have a final over in Sioux Falls. A 6-0 lead for the Pioneers as they won it over at Caras Park, just where the Saber Dogs were the last weekend. Split that series 2 games apiece over against the Sunfish. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, 2 down. Here's Jackson's pitch. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Justice. Advancing the second goes O'Brien here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. So a chance for the Whiskey Jacks to add on another run here. 9-8, a 1-run lead thus far. Daigle has driven in 1 run tonight. That was an RBI single in the 5th. O'Brien will be going on contact. The 2-2 is taken down low, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Outfield arms left to right. Williams, Anderson, and Greer. Jackson, the tall right-hander, peers for the sign. Comes set at the chest. Kicks and tosses. The payoff pitch in the way is a fastball taken down away. 4 ball, 4. So a walk to Daigle. That'll set up the top of the lineup. And Caleb McDowell to the plate. He's reached base twice today. A single in the 1st, a walk in the 4th. He's 1 for 3 in totals. That'll send out Alex Miklas to the mound. We are likely going to see a pitching change. First and second, 2 outs. That'll be it for Jackson as he hands the ball to his head coach. As Jackson did good work, kept the lead for the Saber Dogs. They're up 9-8 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll get you updated on the new right-hander in the game for the Saber Dogs when we return. Whiskey Jacks threatening again. First and second, 2 outs, 9-8 Wheat City, your score. Welcome back to Kraft Field, bottom half of the sixth inning, 9-8. Wheat City, your score. Good spot for them to add on right here. First and second, 2 outs. It's going to be right-hander Jared Breedwell into this ball game to take over for Matt Jackson, looking to get out of this jam. Top of the order up, Kaylor McDowell. 5th time to the plate for him tonight. As Breedwell kicks and fires, his first pitch is a fastball. Top of the zone, strike one. 0-1. Breedwell, a two-way player. Pitched against the Sunfish back a couple nights ago. Tossed a scoreless inning, struck out one batter. That was his first outing in a month since June 24th. As he kicks and tosses, the 0-1 is a fastball on the outside corner, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Breedwell with the bat this year, hitting .255, 8 RBIs. So getting more of an opportunity here to pitch over the last couple of nights as he comes set from the first base side. Tosses the 0-2. Fastball misses up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So in total, through an inning and 2/3, has allowed 3 runs. All those 3 runs allowed to the Sodbusters on June 24th, and that 11 o'clock start time after the doubleheader. The 1-2 is breaking ball that slips out, misses up and away, ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 down. Breedwell, product of the University of San Francisco, standing at 6 feet tall, 185 pounds. Daigle takes his lead from first base. O'Brien from second. The 2-2 is on the outside corner for strike 3. Jared Breedwell inherits a tough jam and with ease sets down the leadoff hitter in Caleb McDowell. That keeps it a 9-8 lead for the Whiskey Jacks. We're heading to the back third of this ball game. Top of the 7th coming up live from Kraft Field. We'll go back to Kraft Field, top half of the 7th inning, 9-8. Whiskey Jacks, your score. Very nice work from Jared Breedwell to get out of that inning unscathed. Coming in for Matt Jackson, stranding runners at first and second with 2 down. Here's Drew Miller to lead it off. Miller 1 for 3 tonight, a single, a line out to right, and a line out to third as well. He does represent the tying run. 5 homers on the year, second on the team in that category. It's the first pitch on the way from Kaplan is taken down low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Miller, Williams, Moore due up here at 6, 7, and 8. Kaplan nods his head and settles from the first base side. Shrugs his shoulders and fires the 1-0. Breaking ball backs up, misses outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. So the Saber Dogs were able to bring around at least 1 run to score, in the last 3 innings. 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Looking to keep that line moving right here. Need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead as the 2-0 is a fastball that runs outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Your line score, 8 runs, 11 hits, an error for the Saber Dogs. 9 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Whiskey Jacks thus far. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Game 1 of 4 between these 2 ball clubs. Last time these 2 teams will face in the regular campaign. It's the 3-0 is a fastball. It's taken down low for ball 4. So Drew Miller works the walk. Second free pass allowed tonight by the right-handed reliever Kaplan. First time, make that second time Miller has reached as well. Also in the single that came back in the second inning. Tying run at first base. Here comes Jordan Williams to the plate. He's 1 for 3, an RBI single that came all the way back in the second inning. In fact, it was the first run to come around to score. It was Justice who reached on a hit-by pitch, advanced to second on this infield single for Miller. Williams brought Justice around with the soft ground ball in the left field. First pitch on the way from Kaplan is a fastball down, low ball, 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Ethan Moore on deck, then Reese Anderson. After that, it'll be the top of the lineup for the 5th time tonight for Souris Valley. Back third of this ball game, top of the 7th, and it has been a tight one this evening. Seen a lot of offense. 17 combined runs, 20 combined hits, 2 combined errors, 1 on each end. Kaplan kicks and tosses the 1-0 pitch. Is a fastball taken upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Not only that, it's been a very windy day here at the ballpark. We've seen it impact a lot of balls that are hitting the air. And again, a lot of ground balls tonight, so that's been limiting some of the damage that these teams could take advantage of. We've seen a home run from Steven Moretto, however, his 6th of the year, as the 2-0 is taken upstairs. The catcher in O'Brien pops up and attempts the snap throw. He will hold on to it. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. So a tough start here for Kaplan. 7 consecutive balls here to open up his inning of work. Williams digs back into the box. The 3-0 on the way is a fastball that misses inside for ball 4. Close spot. 8 consecutive balls out of the right hand of Kaplan. Back-to-back walks. First and second, nobody out. Again, the catcher in O'Brien, the reach across his body was sitting him outside. Likely was the difference right there between Paul Sedicase, the home plate umpire, calling that a ball or a strike. Looked like a quality pitch that just missed an inch or 2 inside. So we're going to see a meeting at the mound here between Kaplan, his infield, and his coaching staff. First and second, nobody out. The tying run at second base, the go-ahead run at first. Ethan Moore will, meanwhile, have a conversation with his third base coach and Alex Miklos. Moore coming into this at-bat, 1 for 3, couple of flyouts, a single that came back in the 6th inning as well. Good spot here for the Saber Dogs, bottom of the order to come up clutch. Top of the order, as we said, is looming. And again, it very deep lineup here for Souris Valley. You got powerful bats looming left and right. I mean, you got an all-star in Jordan Williams hitting in the 7th spot. Drew Miller, second in the ball club in home runs, hitting in the 6th spot. Ethan Moore, leader in home runs, at the plate in the 8th spot right now. A chance to give the Saber Dogs the lead as well. Miller takes a shuffling lead from second base. Williams from first. Righty on right. Kaplan from the stretch. His first pitch is an off-speed pitch that floats in on the inside corner about chest high. No balls, 1 strike. Moore, now 1 for his last 7. That single helped him break out just a little bit. Wide open stands for the right side as he awaits the pitch. Kaplan from the stretch is 0-1. Is a breaking ball. Bites the outside corner. Sedicase says that Moore went around. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. So quite a rebound for Kaplan after throwing 8 straight balls to open up this inning. Gets ahead of Moore quite convincingly and quickly. The good fastball and a nice bender that bit the outer edge. Runners take their leads first and second. No balls, 2 strikes. Kaplan's pitch on the way is swung on and missed for strike 3. Foul tip held on by the catcher O'Brien for out number 1. A mighty important strikeout for Kaplan. So that holds runners at first and second with 1 down. That'll send up Reese Anderson to the plate here. Anderson 1 for 3. Singled in the 2nd. Grounded out to the pitcher in the 4th. Flew out to center in the 6th. 6 RBIs on the year right here. Number 7, a mighty important one in its potentiality. Standing in the shoes of Drew Miller at second base. First pitch, fastball, middle of the plate, knee high, strike 1, cuts the plate in 2 pieces. 0-1. So Kaplan's found it just a little bit right here. Came in relief of Aberrett back in that lengthy 6th inning where Aberrett switched arms, started throwing from his right side instead of his left. As the 0-1 is swung and sliced foul off to the right side, out of play, strike 2. 0-2. Saber Dogs were able to get to him, chip away at what was a 3-run deficit at the time, turned it into a 1-run deficit after 2 runs came around the score on the RBI single to right center off the bat of Alan Greer. Anderson digs back in. Kaplan tosses the 0-2. Swing a soft bounding ball to third field and a long hop by Sorensen. Picks it up with 2 hands, throws sidearm over to first base. Is in time to retire Anderson for out number 2. Meanwhile on the play, Miller scampers into third. Right behind him is Williams, who goes to second. Second and third now, 2 down, 5-3 put out. Here's the top of the order coming to the plate for Souris Valley and Justin Cooper. Just the man you want up in this spot. He already has 2 knocks tonight and 2 RBIs. A single in the first and a 2-run double in the second. Tying run now 90 feet away at third base. Go-ahead run in scoring position at second. Kaplan from the first base side comes set, righty on right. Infield back with 2 down. First pitch is a breaking ball that loops over the middle of the plate for strike 1. 0-1. Cooper, his last time up, walked. That came back in the 6th inning. It's part of that 2-run rally back just a half inning, make that an inning ago. Good speed on the base paths. Miller at third, Williams at second. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the way. Fastball misses up and in, ball one. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Your arms left to right in the outfield for the Whiskey Jacks. Langley, Guajardo, and Drill. Infield shifting Cooper slightly to pull. The shortstop and Bittner about straight up, Second baseman Daigle a couple steps up the middle of the diamond. Righty on right. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball just misses a bit outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Really good job of Cooper to lay off that one as he now climbs ahead. Miller, both hands on his hips, takes a walking lead from third. Williams takes a couple steps towards third with his lead from second. Kaplan from the stretch. O'Brien sets up away. The 2-1. Breaking ball misses down low, ball 3. 3-1. Hitters count now for Cooper. First base is open. It's Gunnar McGran, a left-handed hitter who looms on deck. 3 balls, 1 strike. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks, your score. Top of the 7th, second and third, 2 down. Kaplan from the stretch, pauses above the belt. The 3-1 is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper thought it was ball 4, took about a step and a half towards first base, has to retreat, and will have to protect right here. Big spot right now. Kaplan stares into his backstop, comes in agreement as he comes set. The payoff pitch in the way. Strike 3 called. He got him with a fastball at the knees. A huge strikeout for Kaplan as he strands the tying run at third base and the go-ahead run at second. That sends us to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here at Kraft Field. A slim lead for the Whiskey Jacks. They're up 9-8 as we'll return after this quick message from our sponsors. Bottom half of this 7th inning, 9-8 Whiskey Jacks, your score. Jared Breedwell out for another inning of work here after coming in from Matt Jackson and set down what was a very difficult spot. Was able to strike out Caleb McDowell looking with a heater on the outside corner. Looking to carry that on here in this bottom 7th inning of work. Here's Noah Langley, the left fielder, to lead it off. Righty on right, the first pitch is a fastball taken up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Langley 1 for 2 tonight. A walk in the first, grounded out to short in the second. Single to the fourth, was hit by a pitch all the way back in the 5th inning. Saber Dogs had a tremendous opportunity to tie the game up, if not take the lead. Stranded runners at second and third in that top of the 7th. The 1-0. Fastball, middle of the plate, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 8 runs, 11 hits, an error for the Saber Dogs. 9 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Whiskey Jacks. Breedwell from the stretch. Kicks, tosses. The 1-1 is a breaking ball. Down the way, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sun continues to set. Almost completely nightfall here. The light's fully in play. Shining bright on the diamond. As the sun continues to set, just a squeak of color left in the sky. Just the next pitch is a fastball upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Almost just a navy blue color. You see a little tint of pinkish purple beyond the right field wall, but besides that, almost pitch black here at the ballpark. Breedwell kicks in, tosses the 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and I mean a big rip from Nolan Langley right there as he stumbled towards the first base side. Strike 2, count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Langley digs back to the box here. Breedwell from the first base side comes set. Pauses at the bout, kicks, tosses, the payoff pitch in the way, swing and a miss for strike 3. Good heater from Breedwell at the top of the strike zone. In fact, up and out of the strike zone. Got Lingley to chase for out number 1. Back-to-back punch-outs for Breedwell as well. Now it's 2 on the night, of course, as that brings up Jake Jelly to the plate. Jelly 2 for 3, a single, a double, a run scored. So struck out looking in the first inning, drove in a run with that double. Bases a little walk to add on to the resume for this ball game of the night in the 5th as well. Breedwell from the first base side mixes up his grip a bit as he comes set above the belt. His first pitch is swung in line, left side, through the 6-hole in the left field 4-base hit. So Jake Jelly continues to punish the ball tonight. He's now 3 for 4, has reached base 4 times, and has driven in 2 runs. That's his second single as it comes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So here's Jackson Sorensen now. He's had a good night, an RBI, a double as well. 1 for 2 in total. He's reached base twice via a hit by pitch as well as a walk, if you don't include that 2-bagger back that came in the 3rd inning. Breedwell from the first base side of the hill comes set. Jelly takes his lead. Good runner, 12 stolen bags, was picked off earlier in this ball game, however. It's the first pitch from Breedwell, cruises across the middle of the plate, just above the knees for strike 1. 0-1. Saber Dogs, when they come to the plate in the top of the 8th inning, they'll send up McGran, Greer, and Moretto, 2, 3, and 4, as they'll be down to their final 6 outs of this ball game. Breedwell from the stretch, kicks and tosses the 0-1, swing and a foul off the mitt of the catcher Injustice, strike 2, 0-2. Let's take a look at some of those scores around the league one more time here. Again, the big one, the Big Sticks Tommyknockers game. Big Sticks up 4-1, that's down the bottom of the 8th inning. And the winner of that series gets quite a convincing advantage moving forward here, as both of those two teams the favorites to face the Saber Dogs in round 1 of the divisional playoffs. The 0-2, fastball swing and a miss for strike 3. That one about head height right there to Jackson Sorensen, as Breedwell continues to live with that heater up at the top of the zone, and he's gotten 2 hitters to chase it in this inning. Strikeout number 3 on the night. In fact, all 3 hitters he has retired have been set down via the punch-out, 2 swinging, 1 looking, as that'll bring up Nolan Drew to the plate. Meanwhile, Jelly holds at first base. Righty on right here is Drill. Digs at the box. He's 1 for 2 tonight. An RBI single, reached on an E5 and walked. Breedwell from the stretch. His first pitch is a good fastball. Late swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1. And that fastball has a lot of ride on it, a lot of velocity on it. You see a lot of late hacks from these Whiskey Jacks hitters against it. Again, the reason why you can see it has a lot of ride is because they've been so aggressive against it when it's up in the zone. Even Sorensen, who's a very good hitter, chased the ball at his head right there. Can imagine it has some high spin on it, as there goes Jelly, pitches upstairs, throw down to second from Justice, right on line, and in time to retire Jelly at second base. Second time Jelly has been caught. Second runner that Justice has thrown out in this ball game as well. A perfect bullet right on the money to his shortstop in Justin Cooper. That will retire the side. Breedwell faces the minimum, has now struck out 3 batters tonight through an inning and a third of work. We're heading to the top of the 8th, 9-8. Whiskey Jacks, your score. Welcome back to Kraft Field, top of the 8th inning, 9-8 Whiskey Jacks, your score. Acosta out for his second inning of work after piecing together a very good 7th. Struggled with his command just a little bit, a couple of walks, but was able to strike out 2 batters and get out of that jam. And keep it a 9-8 Whiskey Jack's lead, in which the Saber Dogs were threatening. Runners on second and third with a chance to take the lead, but to no avail. Acosta was able to put a 0 on the board. So here comes Gunnar McGran to the plate now. McGran has reached base twice, 1 for 3, a triple and a walk. Acosta's first pitch in the way is a fastball. Down and away ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Quite an active scoreline thus far for both ends. 8 runs, 11 hits, an error for Souris Valley. 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Whiskey Jacks. Acosta from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Misses. Down low ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. McGran finds himself in a hitter's count. Saber Dogs have 6 outs to work with. Good spot in the lineup here to get back into this ball game. 2, 3, and 4 spots are due up. Acosta from the first base side comes set at the chest. Lifts and tosses the 2-0 is a strike at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Grand walked in that 6th inning, which extended the inning for Alan Greer, who of course picked up the 2-run single to right center to make it a 1-run deficit. Acosta from the stretch, the 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball, bends over the outside corner, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It looks like we're seeing another arm warming up in the pen, a right-hander. Got to tip your cap to Jared Breedwell. Has faced the minimum thus far through an inning in the third. Has struck out 3 batters along the way as well. 3 of the 4 batters he's retired have been punched out. So the 2-2 is on its way. Breaking ball misses down the way ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The only other out he's recorded that wasn't via the strikeout was when Justice threw out Jake Jelly at second base with just a perfect throw. Acosta from the stretch, first base side, settles and fires the 3-2. Fastball taken up and away, 4 ball 4. So that'll put the tying run at first base. Just the start Souris Valley was looking for. So that sends up Alan Greer to the plate. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a couple RBIs, a walk. Also struck out looking in the first inning. Acosta from the first base side of the hill. Leans it for the sign. Alan Greer digs into the right-hander's batter's box. Looking to string something along. Is a tough man to double up with his speed. Middle infielders, of course, as you would imagine, in double play depth. First pitch, big cut and a miss from Greer for strike 1. Late on a heater on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Steve Moretto on deck, then Taylor Justice, middle of the Saber Dogs lineup here. McGran, good speed, takes his lead from first. 2 stolen bags on the year. Acosta comes set from the first base side of the hill and fires the 0-1. Swing a soft looper, shallow right field, drill raging again. He'll camp underneath it to make the grab for out number 1. So Alan Greer retired for just the second time tonight. He's now 2 for 4, as that'll force McGran to retreat to first base. So here comes Steve Moretto. He's 1 for 4. That one hit a big one, a home run that came back in the 5th, his 6th of the year. Came up to the plate in a big spot in the 6th inning with a couple runners on, first and third to be specific, and grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice. And McGran was not able to score from third on the play. Righty on right here, Acosta. From the first base side of the hill, pauses at the chest. His first pitch is up and in with a breaking ball. Backed up a little bit, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So McGran takes a shuffling lead from first, being held on by Jelly. We'll see if Alex Miklos gets a little bit aggressive here. Saber Dogs have not been aggressive on the base paths here tonight. In fact, no stolen bases. As the 1-0 delivery is on its way. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Good rip from Moretto. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Moretto steps out of the box, readjusts his batting gloves, takes a deep breath, stares at the barrel of his bat, now taps the plate a couple times. It points it up parallel to the opposer in Acosta. Acosta now set. Kicks, fires, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul off the catcher and O'Brien for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Acosta not giving Moretto anything straight. A couple of breaking balls the last couple of pitches, and he's taken some convincing rips at them. Swung and missed through 1, just got a piece of that one to nick it foul. So now he's behind 1-2 here, has to protect. Double play in order here. Middle infielders pinched up the middle. Outfielders about straight up. Third baseman Sorensen straight up as well. About 4 or 5 steps behind the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks your score. Pitch in the way, swinging a bounding ball left side, ranging to his right is Bittner, diving stop to his right, gets to his feet. He'll put it in his pocket as Moretto, steaming down the first base line, will beat it out. So that's an infield single for the Saber Dogs third baseman. He's now 2 for 5 of the night. puts the tying run in scoring position once again here in Gunnar McGran. The go-ahead run now at first base in the hands of Steven Moretto. So Acosta got the ground ball he was looking for. Unfortunately, the middle infielders were in double play depth, so all Bittner could do was dive to his right and stop it on the infield. Justice with a chance to pick up a big knock now. He's 1 for 3. That one hit a double. That led off the third. He would be stranded. Grant takes his lead from second. Moretto at first. Acosta's first pitch is a breaking ball that bends in on the inside corner. Strike one. No balls, 1 strike. So that hit from Moretto, now the 12th of the night for Souris Valley. As Acosta peers in for the side. Due up for the Whiskey Jacks in the bottom of the 8th as they look for some insurance or potentially to get their lead back if the Saber Dogs can execute right here. The 5, 6, and 7, Drill, Bittner, and O'Brien. Acosta kicks and fires. The 0-1 is a breaking ball into the dirt, blocked by the catcher O'Brien. Ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sun completely set. Dark skies upon us here, making it even more intense in what's been quite a nail-biter this evening. I've seen a couple scoreless innings. In fact, we haven't seen, besides the 7th frame, an inning where both sides were held scoreless. So that took until the 7th inning to see that, as the next pitch is a breaking ball running away, swing and a miss, strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. In other words, at least one team has scored in each of the first 6 innings of this ball game. And in fact, in 2 of them, both teams have scored. The biggest inning so far, a 4-run second for the Saber Dogs and a 4-run 5th for the Whiskey Jacks. Basically been responsible for half of the run totals for both sides tonight. Those single innings. Here's the 1-2 to Justice on the way. Swing a line drive right field. Drill ranging in. He has to play it on a hop. Walking into third base and stopping there is McGran as the ball is spiked back into the infield. The bases are now loaded here with 1 down, and here we go. Drew Miller will come to the plate with a chance to give the Saber Dogs the lead. Nice piece of hitting, especially with 2 strikes from Taylor Justice. A pitch away from him, took it where it was pitched. A soft line drive in a right field for a base knock. So that'll bring up Drew Miller to the plate. Miller 1 for 3 tonight. Walked back to open up the 7th inning. 5 outs left for Souris Valley. Another promising spot for the boys wearing the red this evening. Miller digs into left-hander's batter's box. Acosta comes set from the right side. First pitch, fastball, runs outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jordan Williams looming on deck if it could get that far here. Whiskey Jacks looking for a double play. Middle infielders playing back. Corner infielders make that playing in, looking for a force at the plate. 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. So a hitter's count here to Drew Miller. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks your score. McGran the tying run at third. Moretto the go-ahead run at second. Justice some insurance at first base. Corner still in, middle still back. Hitter's count for Miller, 2-0. Here's the delivery on the way. So we're going to hard line drive down the right field side and foul. That'll be strike 1. 2-1 the count here with 1 down. Your arms left to right in the outfield. Lingley, Guajardo, and Drill. Acosta leans it for the side. Miller crowding the plate a little bit, trying to give himself as much plate coverage as possible right here. 2-1 delivery. Fastball runs outside. Ball 3. 3-1 the count here, so Miller's going to have to be ultra selective right now. Again, obviously looking for something to drive, but a walk forces in the tying run, and McGran from third base. Acosta stares into his catcher, chest facing home plate, takes a deep breath, finds the sign he wants, and comes set from the first base side of the hill. He kicks and tosses the 3-1, swing and a pop up third base side. Sorensen ranging the foul ground, will range back into fair territory to make the catch for out number 2. So a tough break. A hitter's count for Miller with the tying run at third base. Unfortunately, can't get it out of the infield with a pop out to third. So Acosta an out away from getting out of what very likely is the biggest jam of the night. Jordan Williams trying to put a stop to that. Williams has driven in 1 run. That was an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Righty on right here is Acosta from the first base side. Peers in for the sign. Pauses at the chest. He kicks and tosses. The first pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher and O'Brien. My goodness, did that save a run. This was about a 54-foot breaking ball. And O'Brien, sliding to his right, took this one up towards the neck area, it almost looked like, because it was spiked so far out in front of the plate, and was able to keep it close enough to hold McGran, who has good speed at third base. That's a huge play right here, especially if the Whiskey Jacks can get out of this jam. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Williams digs back in. Sabre Dogs have 4 outs to work with now. The 1-0, breaking ball, middle of the plate, strike 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. For Williams, 20 RBIs on the year. Diggs in the box. Chance for more. McGran at third, Anderson at second. Make that Moreto at second, and Justice at first base. Count even at 1, 2 down. 9-8 Whiskey Jacks. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball. Acosta has gone to that pitch a lot in the last few batters. Count now moves in advantage of Wheat City. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seems like every inning we've said it's the biggest spot in this ball game. I think you could say the same right here. 1-run lead for Wheat City. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Julio Acosta delivers the pitch. Swing and a pop-up, shallow right field. Second baseman Daigle ranging onto the outfield grass. Will make way to the right fielder Drew, who slides. He can't get it. McGran will score. Right behind him is Moreto. 2 runs are in, and it's a 10-9 Sabre Dogs lead. Just like that. Looked like it was going to be an inning-ending flyout that was going to get Acosta out of the jam. The second baseman Daigle was ranging onto the outfield grass. Last minute made way to the right fielder Drill, who came sliding in, could not make the catch, made contact with his glove, but popped out. So 2 runs are in. It's a 2-run single for Jordan Williams. He now has 23 RBIs in the year, and that gives the Sabre Dogs a 10-9 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. How about that? Here's Ethan Moore, 7th batter to the plate in this inning. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1. That's the key advantage of just putting the ball in play, giving yourself an opportunity, and that was into no man's land. And a tough play for Drill, who had to range a long way. Unfortunately, could not hold on. 0-1 pitch. Swing to ground ball, left side, past a lunging Bittner into left field for a base knock. Justice will trot home and stomp on home plate. Another run is in as the Sabre Dogs extend their lead. It's now 11-9 here in the top of the 8th inning. The Whiskey Jacks were a strike away from keeping their lead, sending it to the bottom of the 8th inning. And all of a sudden, in just a couple of moments, they now trail by 2. 3 runs in this frame for Souris Valley. Moore picks up RBI make that number 36 on the year. So here's Reese Anderson, 9-hole hitter, 8th man to the plate. He's 1 for 4. Williams at second, Moore at first. 11-9, Souris Valley your score. The first pitch, Anderson shows bunt, drags it, but it will be fouled straight back off the knee pad of the catcher O'Brien. Strike 1. 0-1, and that run off the bat of Ethan Moore, a big one. Sabre Dogs needing insurance here tonight. Obviously, with how close this ball game has been throughout the entire contest. As Anderson digs back into the box here, Acosta from the stretch. The 0-1 is in the dirt, blocked by the catcher O'Brien. Ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So now 11 runs, 15 hits, an error for Souris Valley. 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Whiskey Jacks. So the Whiskey Jacks, when we hit to the bottom of the 8th, will now find themselves down to their final 6 outs. Acosta from the stretch. Here's his 1-1. Late swing and a miss. Strike 2. Pitch up and out of the zone. Count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here with 2 down. Anderson digs in the box, adjusts his helmet. Taps the plate. Williams takes his lead from second, Moore from first. Both runners will be going on contact. Acosta from the stretch. The 1-2 on the way. Swinging a bounding ball to third. It will be fielded foul by the third baseman, Sorensen. Count now holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Still action. The Sabre Dogs bullpen, a right-hander warming up. We'll see if Jared Breedwell will come out for the 8th. Has looked very good tonight. Faced the minimum back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Has struck out 3 batters. As Anderson digs back in, Justin Cooper looms on deck. 11-9, Souris Valley your score. Acosta from the stretch. Here's his 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball misses, up and away, ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Runs coming around to score on the 2-run single from Williams on the blooper to shallow right. And the RBI single from Ethan Moore. Souris Valley looking for more. Deuce is running wild. 2-run lead, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's the delivery on the way. Swinging a line, drive center field. This one's down for a hit. Williams running on contact, taps third. He's heading for the plate. The throw will be well late as it's cut off. Throw to third base is in time to retire Ethan Moore. Trying to advance from first to third, but the run will count. As coming around to score, of course, was Williams before Moore was tagged out at third. So that gives the Sabre Dogs their 3rd run, make that their 4th run of the inning, a 3-run lead, an RBI single for Reese Anderson. Big inning for Souris Valley. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score, the Sabre Dogs 12, the Whiskey Jacks 9. Welcome back to Kraft Field, bottom of the 8th inning. Sabre Dogs taking the lead 12-9 after 4 runs in the top of the 8th inning, highlighted by the RBI 2-run single from Jordan Williams, an RBI single from Ethan Moore, as well as an RBI single from Reese Anderson. Here's the tall right-hander, 6'6" and all, Jackson Kirkpatrick out to start the 8th inning. Nolinger to lead it off. First pitch is a fastball well upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 12 runs, 16 hits, an error now for the Sabre Dogs. 9 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Whiskey Jacks. Drill tonight, 1 for 2, an RBI single, reached on an E5 in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, was at the plate when Jelly was thrown out trying to steal 2nd. That ended the bottom of the 7th, as the next pitch is a fastball up and away ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Kirkpatrick's last outing was against Sioux Falls. Tossed a scoreless inning back on the 24th on Saturday. 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. Don't let the 9.76 ERA fool you, as his next pitch is a fastball down low ball 3. 3-0. Well, he struggled early on. His last 6 outings, he is not allowed to run. One of those a 3-inning outing, which, of course, was shutout baseball, just 2 hits, 7 Ks. So 3-0 is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. 3-1. So that's 8 consecutive innings in which he is not allowed to run now. A lot of punch-outs in that span. 23 strikeouts through 15 2/3 overall this year. His 3-0 is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and really has just become such a lethal weapon in high-leverage spots in the back end of games for Alex McLosin. This is exactly the type of spot that a character of Jackson Kirkpatrick would be written for. As the 3-2 is swung on and fouled straight back, count will hold full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, up by 3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to extend him for a potential 6-out save. His season-high in innings pitch came back on July 3rd against the Moo, where he tossed 3 innings. As we mentioned, all shutout. Also has tossed 2 innings one other time. That was June 30th against the Trappers. He's set first base side. His 3-2 is swung and popped up right side, slicing out of play. Count will hold at 3 balls and 2 strikes. For the Trappers in this frame, 5, 6, and 7 due up. Drill, of course, right now at the plate, then Bittner and O'Brien. Long AB here to start things off for Kirkpatrick. His payoff pitch again is a fastball on the inside corner for strike 3. Good start after falling behind 3-0. Is able to battle back. That is now 4 batters retired. Make that 4 of the 5 batters in a row retired via the strikeout. 3 of which from Breedwell. 1 here to start things off for Kirkpatrick. So the Whiskey Jacks now have 5 outs to work with. Here's Dean Bittner, the shortstop. He's 1 for 2, a bases loaded walk, an RBI single, and a fly to center. Has 2 RBIs tonight. Righty on right, Kirkpatrick from the stretch fires his first pitch. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. Nice pick by Justice behind the plate. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Justice has had a nice night behind the plate today. He's thrown out 2 runners, one trying to steal, the other a back pick attempt to third that he executed perfectly to get Lingley in a pressure spot, might I add, as well. So the next pitch is a fastball that cruises up and in, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Walks have been a struggle for Kirkpatrick this year, 22 and 15 and 2/3, but it's gotten much better over his last 6 outings or so. In that span, just 5 walks. The 2-0 on the way. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. 2-1. Kirkpatrick, a product of Western Carolina University, just like tall left-hander Eric Wallington on this Saber Dogs roster. From Madison, North Carolina as well. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss as that fastball punches the glove of Justice for strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you could see, since Breedwell and Kirkpatrick have come into this game, a lot of late hacks. Kirkpatrick from the stretch. Kicks and tosses. The 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses outside, ball 3. The count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. If the Saber Dogs can take this game, that'll be huge moving forward. Obviously, any time you throw out the bullpen like you have tonight, where you've used a plethora of pitchers, Kirkpatrick represents the 6th tonight. You want to win that as the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. There's that high heater up and out of the zone that Bittner went after. Another strikeout, number 2 of the night and inning for Kirkpatrick, as that sends up Keenan O'Brien, the catcher, to the plate. But if they can take this one, especially given the fact that the pitching struggled today, 9 runs through just about 7 2/3 of innings worked so far, the offense has shown up, and you got to imagine they would love to take it here. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner, strike 1, 0-1. You got to give a lot of credit to the Saber Dogs starting pitching staff over the last 3 nights. This allowed this bullpen to be rested. We mentioned the pitching has been a little bit thin the last couple of nights, and particularly the last week, in fact, as Kirkpatrick fires the 0-1, fastball upstairs, ball 1, 1-1. Jaden Beck, 6 innings yesterday, got the win, allowing just 2 earned runs, I should say. Kanan Morrow, 7 innings on Saturday, got the win, 1 earned run. Dominic Parker, 7 2/3 of an innings pitched, no earned runs. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. And because of that, them going deep into the games, Saber Dogs bullpen is very rested, and even though they've struggled tonight, it's allowed them to hold on here and save a guy like Jackson Kirkpatrick for a situation of this caliber. He comes set at the stretch. Chest high, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. He kicks and tosses the pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Brien walked back in the 6th inning. Would be stranded as the Whiskey Jacks did not bring around a run to score. Kirkpatrick lifts and tosses the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Gas out of the right hand of Jackson Kirkpatrick. Sets down the side in order. Strikes out the side as well. Just what the Saber Dogs were looking for after taking the lead with a 4-run top of the 8th. They set things down quickly here in the bottom of the 8th. Running to the top of the 9th, 12-9. Saber Dogs, your score. We'll be right back after this quick message from our sponsors. Top of the ninth inning, 12-9. Saber Dogs, your score. We got a lot of substitutions here. Cameron Daigle coming in from second base to get on the bump. Langley moving over from left to second. It's going to be Drill moving from right to left. And then Houston Fogelstrom will come into the game in right field. So he will be replacing Acosta, technically speaking, but Daigle will be on the mound. His first pitch on the way to Justin Cooper, up for his sixth plate appearance of the night, is a breaking ball that hops over the zone for strike one, 0-1. Daigle working at a quick pace, turns, kicks, and tosses. His 0-1, breaking ball, just misses down, low ball 1. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Daigle, this will be his 14th outing of the year, 1-0 record with a 4.7 ERA clip. 28 strikeouts to just 8 walks and 28 2/3 of an inning's work. The 1-1 pitch misses down, low ball 2, 2-1. For Daigle, it's been back-to-back scoreless outings, both of which against the Big Sticks, a combined 2 1/3 of an inning's work over the last week. So the next pitch is a breaking ball that loops over the middle of the plate, strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. In that span, he is not allowed to earn a run, as we mentioned, or a run. 1 hit combined, 2 walks, and 1 punch out. Here's his 2-2, swing and a foul off to the right side, out of play. Count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper having a good night. Couple of hits, both came in his first 2 plate appearances in the first and second. Drove in 2 with a double in the second as well. 2-2, late swing and a ground ball into the first base dugout. Hopefully everyone's all right. Looks like that's the case. That's the second scare we've seen over there. A ground ball going in that direction. Did not hit anyone, thank goodness. As Cooper digs back in, Daigle shakes once, shakes twice, now winds in agreement. The 2-2, breaking ball, swinging a chopper straight back. Count will hold even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 12 runs, 16 hits, an error for the Saber Dogs. 9 runs, 10 hits. 1 error for Wheat City. Daigle from the wind. The 2-2 on the way. Swing and a soft chopper off the foot of Cooper. It'll roll foul off to the third base side. Count stays at 2-2. For the Whiskey Jacks, when they come up to the plate in the bottom of the ninth inning, where they'll be down to their final 3 outs, they'll send up 8, 9, and 1. Trey Guajardo, Cameron Daigle, and Caleb McDowell. Again, just a 3-run deficit here, so a couple bloops in the blast could tie this ball game up, and that's the way this ball game's been going so far, so you can't count the Whiskey Jacks out. Now, if you're Daigle, you're looking to keep the deficit at 3 here to give your bats the best chance. Here's the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cooper down on strikes for the second consecutive plate appearance, as that'll open up this top of the ninth inning. Strikeout number 1 for Daigle as well. He's now struck out 29 batters through 29 innings of work. Here's Gunnar McGran. 1 hit tonight. That was the triple in the 4th, a big one. Came around to score on the RBI single from Alan Greer. At the time, tied the game. Daigle winds and fires. His first pitch is a breaking ball, taken down, low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And again, a lot of sharp break on that breaker, 12-6. On a vertical movement as it drops off the table. He twists and tosses the 1-0. Another breaking ball, just misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Your scoring summary. First for the Saber Dogs. 4 in the second, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 4 in the 8th. As Daigle winds and fires. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. McGran out in front. Strike 1. 2-1. For the Whiskey Jacks. 3 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. And they'll look to put up a 3 spot at the least in the 9th. Here's the 2-1 on the way. Fastball. Slices the outer edge for strike 2. 2-2 the count. McGran takes a stare at the barrel of his bat. Cocks it towards the pitcher as he digs back in. As the 2-2 is on its way in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher O'Brien. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got to give a lot of credit to both backstops tonight. Taylor Justice and O'Brien as well for the Whiskey Jacks. Have been battling all night long. O'Brien doing a good job of keeping balls in front of him even with nobody on. Including what at the time was a crucial block a couple innings ago on a breaking ball in the dirt. The 3-2 is a bender that hops over the outside corner for strike 3. A lot of hump on that one. The right hand of Daigle picks up strikeout number 2. That's back-to-back punch-outs. 2 up, 2 down here at the top of the ninth for Souris Valley. So that'll bring up Alan Greer to the plate. Tough pitch to lay off of right there. Starting at about the head height of McGran, then just dropped off and bit that outer edge of the plate. Crossed it about the belt height. First pitch to Alan Greer is a breaking ball that's taken down away ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Greer, 2 hits tonight, an RBI single in the 4th, an RBI single in the 6th. Here's the 1-0. Fastball, swinging a ground ball right at the second baseman, and Langley, who gobbles it up, throws across to first base. That is in time to retire the side. Fantastic inning of work for Cameron Daigle. Strikes out 2 batters and sets down the side in order 1, 2, 3. Right into the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Whiskey Jacks down to their final 3 outs. Your score, Saber Dogs 12, Wheat City 9. Bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Whiskey Jacks, 12-9. Saber Dogs, your score. Here's Jackson Kirkpatrick out for the 6-out save. His first pitch on the way to Trey Guajardo is a fastball taken for a strike. 0-1. And one of the best innings we've seen Kirkpatrick toss came back in that bottom of the 8th, struck out the side in quick fashion. 0-1 the count. His delivery, swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Good fastball at the top of the zone. So Kirkpatrick starting off this frame very efficiently, attacking the zone aggressively, working fast on top of that. He sets at the chest. Kicks, fires. The 0-2, swing and a high. Fly ball, right field and deep. Career ranging back towards the track in front of the wall. He'll make the catch for out number 1. A big point up from the right finger of Jackson Kirkpatrick towards his right fielder, thanking him for running that one down. A deep drive off the bat of Guajardo. 1 up, 1 down. As the Whiskey Jacks are now down to their final 2 outs. Here's Cameron Daigle, the once second baseman, now pitcher. Was very good back in the top of the 9th inning. Was able to set down the Saber Dogs quickly, pick up 2 strikeouts, and induce a ground out to second off the bat of Alan Greer. Houston Fogelstrom on deck, came into the game as a substitution back in the 9th. First pitch on the way to Daigle is a fastball upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, 12-9, your score. The big inning for Souris Valley, a 4-run top of the 8th in which they were able to take the lead and add on 3 more runs. Make that 2 more as the next pitch is up and in, grazes the jersey of Daigle. So he'll take first base, the first runner allowed of the night by the Saber Dogs right-hander in Kirkpatrick. So 1 on, 1 out. Here's Houston Fogelstrom to the plate. Came in as the Whiskey Jacks burnt their DH back in the top of the 9th inning to move Daigle over to the mound. So because of that, they had to make a lot of substitutions, one of which, Fogelstrom, being placed in the right field. He's now at the top of the lineup. So you can close the book on McDowell for the night. Picked up 1 hit in 5 plate appearances, 4 at-bats. Righty on right, Fogelstrom, one of the biggest bats in this lineup, as the first pitch is a fastball in the outside corner, strike 1. 0-1 the count. For Kirkpatrick, as we mentioned, season high in innings pitched, 3. He's also thrown 2 innings once. He's picked up 1 save that came back against these Whiskey Jacks on July 10th. Here's the 0-1. Fastball in the dirt, picked by Justice for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a chance for a 6-out save here would be number 2 on the year for him. A lot of 1s on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, 1 runner on. First at bat of the night for Fogelstrom. Kirkpatrick from the stretch. Kicks and tosses. The delivery on the way. Cut on and miss. Strike two. Good fastball at the top of the zone. Fogelstrom late. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You got to imagine it's tough to come off the bench cold for your first plate appearance, and you're facing a righty who throws as hard as Jackson Kirkpatrick does. Kirkpatrick shakes once. Now comes set in agreement. For the first base side, he pauses at the chest and fires the 1-2. Swinging a pop-up shallow center. Anderson ranging in. He'll waltz underneath this one to make the catch with one hand for out number 2. So the Sabre Dogs an out away from a big, big victory here tonight, coming from behind multiple times, looking to seal the deal right here. The last hope for the Whiskey Jacks will be the left fielder, now turned right fielder. Make that now turned second baseman in Noah Lingley. 12-9, Souris Valley your score. If Lingley can reach, Jake Jelly, the powerful inning first baseman, would represent the tying run on deck. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Another electric heater from Kirkpatrick. 0-1 is the count. Daigle takes his lead from first base. Kirkpatrick from the stretch. Fires the 0-1. Fastball. Outside corner. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. And the Whiskey Jacks have found themselves down to their final strike of the night. Kirkpatrick from the first base side of the hill comes set. Shrugs his shoulders. Long hold, fires, runner goes. The 0-2 is outside. Justice's throw. No one's covering. McGran late will pick it on the short hop. So safe at second base will be Daigle. And I think the middle infielders were okay with the defensive indifference right there. Justice was trying to end the game. Either way, Daigle will take second base. Likely would be a defensive indifference, as that run does not matter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kirkpatrick from the stretch again. Kicks and tosses. The 1-2 on the way. Fastball misses outside. Ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long ball game tonight. Started at 7:05 local time. Just about 10:23 local time here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. 21 runs combined thus far. The 2-2. Swing and a foul off the home plate umpire and set a case. Count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of offense tonight. If you like swing of the bat, this is your ball game. 21 runs combined, 26 hits combined. An error on each end as well. 12-9 your score. Kirkpatrick climbs the hill, standing at 6'6". Digs his right foot into the first base side of the rubber, plants his left foot right in front of him as well. Glove tucked into his hip, ball dangling in his right hand. He punches the two together as he comes set at the chest. Shrugs his shoulders, pauses, takes a couple looks at second, now peers in. The 2-2 is a fastball way upstairs, ball 3. Count now runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here with 2 down. And again, Lingley at the plate represents a very important run, because if he reaches, Jake Jelly has a chance to tie the game with 1 swing. Kirkpatrick from the stretch. Kicks, fires, the payoff pitch in the way. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Kirkpatrick jumps up in the air, spins in a circle, and high fives his catcher in Taylor Justice. Kirkpatrick, fantastic tonight. Picked up 4 strikeouts and the 6-out save, his second of the year, both of which have come against the Whiskey Jacks. 12-9 final. Your final score after a 4-run top of the 8th. Sabre Dogs move to 36-17 on the year, 14-8 in the second half. They have now won 3 in a row. Meanwhile, the Whiskey Jacks fall to 21-31, 10 games below 500, 7-15 in the second half, and have lost 3 in a row. As always, we thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be right back at it tomorrow for Game 2 of this 4-game set, live at 7:05. Your final score, the Sabre Dogs 12, the Whiskey Jacks 9. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great rest of your evening.